Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else back to the NLC second division with another dose, another week of really hype matches. But this time, at last, we have reached the last week of the regular season. And the situation is pretty interesting. I'm Sabrix. I'm joined by a very special guest in Rusty. How are you doing? Okay. How much was it though? How much is your PB? Yeah, it just my camera being a little fried. It's just my camera being a little bit fried, but I'm here anyway.
That matters. So you might have some insight, like maybe they pull out something crazy, Esp in like a desperation to win, or maybe they're good enough to just play their own game, and that way they might have a chance of beating Venom Crest. But maybe you know better in that case. Like,
So one thing that's insanely funny is that Aulonsky sounds exactly like Jankos, and you should
okay,
know that first. But on the other side, I think what Venom Crest managed to do to actually be so strong is having so many pieces of the team working together in a perfect way, like touch. If I remember correctly, the dude said that he benches more than the whole NLC, and well, it shows because performances with champs like the Brom and so many engagers, he's everywhere around the map. Aulonsky moves together with him, and they make it look just so easy. It's so easy for them to get advantages around the map, and the score they have at the end now surely shows it.
so would you say that like touch is like big man, to look at when it comes to Venom
Yeah,
Crest, or yeah,
yeah.
okay,
He's the embodiment of Braum. Okay.
okay, I see, I
Uh,
see.
and on the
I
other
mean,
side, though,
yeah.
Espegard still, as you said, even though they're going up against giants basically in Venom Crest, I wouldn't really count them off. I'm sure you have more experience in this field, but one way to take out a team that is so confident of themselves is like through walkie stuff and cheese and things like, for example, AD champions in the mid lane that Composites is really good at. Things like the Zed, the Yasuo, can maybe take by surprise Venom Crest. I wouldn't put money on it, but it's surely one way to use something different, we can say.
Okay. But does the stream hear me? Because I just got told,
Yes,
or
sure.
I just okay, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I was gonna mention that like you don't always have to pull out the like she's when playing against better teams. For instance,
Mhm.
like against in our example, we beat like natives, like just by playing our own game. So it's like kind of up to the teams, and it's kind of interesting to see like how they approach this game.
Yeah, because you are kind of a team with nothing to lose, because you only have like really slim chance of making playoffs at this point. Looking at the standings, there are so many tiebreakers that we can talk about. For example, in the case of Espegard, if they take down Venom Crest now, they still have a chance at playing a tiebreaker against Blue White to actually reach playoffs in the end. It's basically the only other team that it's not top six right now that can reach playoffs, but they will have to go through Venom Crest first, and they are 17-0, which is a thing that so many people have talked about over and over. but they're just so damn dominating and strong.
I see, I see. So you mentioned like that they work really well together. Is there like some type of play style that they usually opt into? Like, do they strong side bot top? Like, is there some spicy picks, or like what do they usually do?
I'll give you an example first.
No.
In their game against 42 Gaming, they had, if I remember correctly, an 8 minutes Herald and a 16 minutes Soul Point, if I'm not wrong. Like 3 dragons at 16 minutes into the game. So what Owl usually does in the jungle is he moves towards the bot side. He ganks once or twice, to put it simply, and with the advantages that Venom Crest's bot side gets, it makes it just so easy for them to move around the map. Even can now touch both of them, sometimes move towards the Herald, and they just take advantages so quickly on the bot side that they can then translate it over the other sides of the map. Panda top side is mostly left on an island, but he's also pretty good at just neutralizing every single like dangerous matchup against carries or things of the sort, playing things like Poppy and the usual tanks that you find weak side top laners play.
Okay, so basically what I'm getting from this is that Venom Crest is more like a objective focused team.
Yeah, they're pretty damn strong at setting up for these objectives. I mean, in my opinion, most of that is just Owl being damn amazing. He's just the best jungler in the league. And I've actually talked to him once after a game, and the atmosphere in that team is just so chill. They're just vibing.
I
It's not
see.
serious at all.
Yeah. I mean, you're hyping up the jungle a bit, so I'm kind of interesting to see what he does today.
Yeah, I'm
But
pretty excited too.
yeah,
We're still waiting. We're still waiting for the lobby to be created, but we have still a few minutes to talk about some of the players. Um, while we have talked about Venom Crest, I want to give a shout out to Espegat too. Uh, we've talked about composites being amazing on those AD champions, and I want to bring up another story this time. Um, the game before, sorry, was actually a win from Venom Crest against Lightside, but this time I want to talk about a win that Espegat got against 42 Gaming, where they were full AD into a mall fight and they still managed to win. And it was just a Jace and a Zed just steamrolling over the entire map, with Elijah on the Jace getting to 3 items and mid lane instead, composites on the Zed, his comfort champion. It was just so good and so like fluid to see. They're pretty good at turning the tables around, we could say. Even if they have a rough early game, they can make it out.
I see, I see. I mean, yeah, I think I casted one of Esp's games against Lightside. I kind of got to see them at their best and also at their worst. So kind of interesting to see like which side of them I get to see this time.
Yeah,
So I don't know
it needs to be it needs to be the best side of Espegat because if they lose here against Venom Crest, it's done. They go on vacation, so they just have one possibility.
That's true. But like how are they like throughout the split? Have they always been this type of we either smurf or we, kind of int, or was it just recently that they're a bit what do you call it, unpredictable?
They were always kind of in the middle of the rankings, nothing too much, nothing too less. Like they were always comfortable with their own champions, but towards the end, I feel like they want to try to go for more comfort picks, and if they actually will have to stay out of playoffs, they'll do it in a style and play Jace and Zed against the Malphite. You can start a split playing more carefully, with more caution, playing more like listening to the meta. But right now, it's time for the wacky stuff. It's time for the Zeds and the Yasuos those champions.
Yeah. I really hope I get to see some, Zed or Yasuo, but I'm not gonna get my expectations too high. It might just be the normal boring stuff, but you never know.
The lobby should be done in just a few minutes, so wait patiently a bit more. Thank you everyone for tuning in and for your patience, especially. both for the game and for my fright camera that I'm still trying to get back on track, but you'll have to keep looking at my old smile from minutes
Okay,
ago.
draft started.
But we get into draft finally.
Holy, that's some fun. Oh, okay.
All right.
So what do you expect here? So like, okay, Rumble Band, yeah, dude. When I played with Me Like Panda, that
Yeah.
was our pocket pick for top lane. I'm assuming he still plays that, and I'm really interested to see like what he pulls off because he said he would be cooking today. So yeah, and oh, there's the Yasuo ban as well. So like,
All right.
it's just target bans, I guess.
Okay, Modlishka deciding to get to the Yasuo ban in the first phase. On the other side, the Maokai and the Rumble, both insanely stable picks. Just exactly as expected now. I wonder, do you try to hurt the mid lane for Espigard a bit more? No, it's going to be the Kai'Sa. So one of the strongest AD carry in the patch, it's down.
Yeah. So I mean, Rel is still open. I know a lot of teams like really value the Rel, especially since it's a flex pick. So I want to see if that gets banned or left open. Yeah, let's see what Esp decides for their third ban.
A pretty good flex to have. It's going to be the LeBlanc against Modlishka. One of my personal highlight players, I have to say, from Venom Crest, can both play the role of a carry and that of a facilitator. He's just so reliable all around. And the Tristana, one last flex to ban from Venom Crest. As you said, the Rel is going to come through.
Yeah, so usually what I see here is like a Saya Rakan angle. But that's only for, those type of players. I don't know what these guys like to cook out, but there's like the Jace open, I guess. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Zeri? No? Okay, dude, this might be a blind Alistar. Because the Relic can go jungle.
Yep, you can still switch the Rel around, and the Alistar is known as a counter, kind of a counter to Rel in the support role. But as you said, the Xayah comes through. The AD carry role is not that hurt. Only Kai'Sa and the Tristana were banned out. The Syndra now for Compass is... This is a blind pick that I would not really like to see. The Philios comes through instead. Matching AD carry seems like the better option here.
Yeah, so I personally don't really like the Aphelios too much. Like, I would opt into a more range type of team comp at this point, especially when you're playing against like Xayah Alistar bot lane. So for example, like, I guess like a Varus or Ezreal would come to mind. Even Ashe could work. But they decided to go with Aphelios, so... Oh, and also they didn't pick support, so they had a chance to get like Enchanter, but they left it the support pick for later. So I'm expecting it to get banned here, because I would really like a Lulu. But
it's going to be the Poppy as the last pick in the first phase for Venom Crest. Something we have seen both on Owl and Panda. Usually like to keep that as a flex until the end. The Alistar will be locked in support, so the bot lane for Venom Crest is locked in. As you said, as well, I would have preferred something with more range against the Xayah. She really suffers to play against things like Poke and Jace Varuses and things like that. Probably with the Maokai being banned, that's what told Espigard to actually pick the Aphelios. Now the Viego, it's actually one of Aulonski's strongest champions. Pretty surprised to see it on the ban list. Maybe they really want to put a Poppy in the jungle at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird being Venom Crest at this point, because you kind of have a team comp with very low range, and also the only thing you do right now is kind of what's called peel backwards. I mean, sure, you have a lot of terrain control, so if you get to the objective first, you will have a lot of pressure. But when it comes to like game plan, so far it doesn't look that great. For instance, like, it's hard to approach fights without flanks. You don't necessarily outrange. All of this can change, of course, with a good mid or top pick. But also, you don't even have any side lane pressure right now. So I'm kind of interested to see what they pick on 4 and 5, because that will like dramatically change the outcome of the draft. Yeah, okay, you got your camera working now. Hello, Sam.
It's still a little bit fried thanks to the heat, but we managed to take it out again.
Okay. But yeah, Orianna being banned again, or again and again. Orianna being banned. Okay, Nico. Yeah. I mean, it looks like they're going for like we're engaging for like 3 different angles. You have to be careful of like, every side. That's kind of the like feeling I get from Venom Crest. So, you know.
I actually love the Nico being picked up here. It's one of Modlishka's strongest champions, and with him falling to a bit more of a facilitator role, more of an engager, it's perfect to just have a Nico that can flash and pop blossom the whole backline. And he has done that multiple times. So he's pretty handy with the champion.
Oh, Jarvan. Okay, I don't like the Jarvan pick at all. Because it puts Rel bot and also it's an engage champion, and we already talked about like you don't need to engage, especially when the enemies have like 4 short range champions. So yeah. Okay, Malphite incoming. It will be a good Malphite angle actually.
Okay, against the Chase would be pretty nice. They already took down a Malphite, even as a full AD comp against 42 Gaming, but Venom Crest is a whole other beast, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, oh, okay, yeah, I guess it's the Malphite. So yeah, I think the Malphite changes things a lot. It's like a point and click engage. You have 3 mobile champions. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed on how the draft went for ESP. I'm not gonna lie. They had a really good start, but they decided to shift into a more like more of an engage, and the Jace pick really left what do you call some openings for Venom Crest, which they punished with the Malphite pick. So yeah, it's fine though. All depends on how the game plays out. But yeah.
I feel like Espigod has such a strong engage. It's something you weren't exactly happy when they picked up the Jarvan. Why is that?
Yeah, so like even if they have like a strong engage, you have to think about the tools that Venom Crest has. For example, they have like who are you gonna engage on? Like you're not gonna engage on the Xayah, right? Because she has the ult, and they have so much disruption in the team. They have the Poppy, Nico, Alistar, Malphite. Like you have to go through a lot of disruption in order to get to the backline, which is only Nico and Xayah, right? And they're both quite mobile. Like eventually Nico might get like Zonias. You don't wanna jump into like a Nico ult or something like that. And even then, like Poppy can E, W, ult, Alistar, WQ. There's like a lot of disruption here, and instead of going in, you could have just had Ezreal. And what is Ezreal gonna be afraid of? Like in this case, Malphite, sure, but that's because of the Jace pick, right? And if you change the top pick and you have an Ezreal instead, then it might be much easier to play the game because you won't face that like tank that Ezreal is like enabled to kill.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like where I'm coming from.
That poke damage would have also come in handy at this point from the Ezreal. Not, in my opinion, not exactly the strongest champion to carry a game, but a champion that can surely bring a lot of value, especially a lot of self peel that not many other AD carries offer. Now, it's also going to be hard for the Jarvan to try to get onto that Xayah. As you said, so much disruption from the Alistar, from the Poppy. Poppy even can like just push Jarvan into his own wall. It's just so easy for the Poppy. And the Malphite, just the cherry on top against so many AD threats. It's just the Syndra in the end with maybe enough magic damage. I don't really think so, but just a few seconds, we'll be landing onto the Rift. Hold your seats, everybody. This is the beginning of the last week of the regular season with Venom Crest in the first game, looking to finally fulfill their dreams to a perfect regular season with an 18-0 score.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, it's like the thing with the Venom Crest team comp as well is that they're all really short ranged. So when Aphelios gets Hurricane, like super late into the game, he might just be able to one tap everyone. Especially with Flamethrower, like not only because of the AoE, but also because the out attacks on Flamethrower does like 110% damage instead of the normal 100%. So late game, anything could happen. Even when Venom Crest has like a lot of engage, like it's very volatile, I would say. But of course, it's easier for Venom Crest. They just have to, click Malphite ult on Aphelios. But still, I think SP has like a win condition.
It's just a wee bit easier for Venom Crest.
Yeah, just a tiny bit, right? But we were trying to see it from the ESP's point of view because they really need to win this game as well. Maybe even more than Venom Crest. Venom Crest is more maybe for like the social status and stuff like that. But you know, they're out if they lose this.
Now the real question is, like, so many teams have tried to make a perfect split, right? But you just have to lose a game at some point. Uh, you either lose it in the regular season or you lose it in playoffs, right? So as we move away from the best of ones, do you truly think that Phantom Crest will be able to keep up that score? Have you seen anything like that ever?
I mean, the thing that's impressive by Venom Crest isn't like, I wouldn't say, I would say it's more about like their consistency. Like it's not easy to win 19 games in a row. Like there are some games you might fuck up, right? And oh shit, maybe I'm not allowed to actually. Yeah, sorry for that, viewers. But there are games where you will have like unfortunate instances early game and be maybe down 2k gold, and that might happen several times. Oh, okay. Actually, with bot wave pushing, Alistar being able to freely roam like wherever he wants, mid lane pushing, and Poppy getting out of base. Yeah, it's just an instant start.
Right, so 5 minutes into the game. Let's see if they can break some records. The last soul point I saw was at 17 minutes into the game. Now they get the first dragon at 5. But the bot lane still pushing, mid lane still pushing. Composites is going to go for the TP back to lane while Modlishka already used his. And it doesn't really matter because nobody seems to contest. Venom Crest now topside. Another story with Panda taking some heavy trading against the Jace. That range advantage really shows.
Yeah, I mean the only sad part here is that we saw this coming from like 30 seconds ahead, and I feel like we should expect some type of counter play, right? Like a split map play or something like that. And I felt like Panda was very vulnerable at that time. He might still be in danger.
Yeah,
They're looking for a play.
Stefan is heading towards the top side, and
yeah, he might need to. Yeah,
did
they're
they
not
just call it
slick.
off?
Oh,
Did they just call it off?
okay.
No, bot side instead. Touch tries to go on.
Relic in danger.
Now answers with enough damage. Sobek in danger. Ignite is popped, and the heavy trading continues, but the action stops for the moment as Venomcrest waits for Owl. They're both sandwiched between their own towers. So he will try to push the Rel. He'll manage to do so, and first blood that goes to Venomcrest.
Yeah, I mean, really good engage there by Touch, forcing them to trade HP right before the dive. A really nice angle he found there. And not only do they get the kill, they also prevent Aphelios from farming these 2 waves, you know? So the CS diff is gonna not be too big, maybe 5 or 6 right now, but also 2 plays going for Canal.
I also want you to look at the vision they have bot side. They have so many spots of vision around the main entrances of the jungle. They will just know when Stefan comes in that part of the map, and it will just be so damn easy. Now, Sobek will try to clear some of that vision. See if he can actually get it all, while Stefan didn't really manage to do anything in return. He didn't go for a split plate, he didn't go mid, he didn't go top. It's just a 5 CS advantage.
Yeah, and this is a Jarvan as well, you know? You want to be proactive, you want to look for the plays. But, you know, things might change when he gets to that level 6. He might want to, you know, instantly look for a play. We don't know yet. But it's not that easy, I would say, now.
You also have to remember that Espegard is not the strongest early game team, but they always manage to get back on track in one way or another, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't rule them out, as of now.
Oh, this is a good play coming from top, right? And the bot wave is pushing as well, so they won't even be able to like make a play bot.
Okay, oh, and even the ult, the modified ult on top.
Yeah.
You just can't escape from it.
Yeah, and look, Xayah bot lane, completely chilling. Nothing to be scared of. They're not losing anything for every play they do. Very clean.
Very clean. Bring 3 members topside, dive the enemy Jace. Venomcrest probably knows that's one of the main threats that Espegard has, and one of their main chances to actually carry the game. Now the Jarvan will flag and drag into the enemy jungle. Will just take a blue buff for the moment. Xayah, as you said, completely chilling, and he'll probably continue to chill.
Yeah, they only did. Oh no, they might not even get a plate short. I mean, they get 2 camps, but I would still say it's heavily in favor of Venomcrest.
Mid lane on the other side has been kind of quiet. Both Composites and Modlishka haven't really moved out of mid lane. It's mostly been a game of junglers and bot side with a bit of top side sprinkled on top. Now, Venomcrest are so good at just leaving so much vision after they make a play. Look at top side now. They have 2 control words. It's just so easy for them to maybe go back on that side of the map, maybe set up some vision around the opposite side of the map, maybe go bot side now, as Alamski is doing. And they're just so good at playing around the vision, just defending the spots they have.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, there's only 2 kills for the side of Venomcrest, but they're already 2k gold ahead. Oh,
and Touch now. He's just trying to bench press onto that Aphelios, and the feathers fly. Canal does. Okay, he takes 1 tower shots, not that much damage as is there. The flag and drag onto out. Touch is there to respond, and Monlishka comes through with a pop blossom. He finds 1, he searches for the second, and Sobek, he will just make the walk of shame back towards his own tower. Venomcrest 4-0 in the first 10 minutes into the game, and this is a tower!
Yeah, looks like Venom Crest came ready. You know, they're just playing their own game. They don't seem to be nervous at all, and the gold lead just exploded from 2K to like over 4K. Yeah, I mean we can look at the replay because I didn't even notice like Nico coming from the side as well. Was able to pick off the kill from Aphelios, right?
Yeah, Modalishka was the first one to move from the mid lane. If I'm not wrong, Olowski now buys so much time here, and Modalishka comes through, Pop Blossom. So easy.
Yeah. 2 for 0.
The Dragon Raid, now we'll have to keep an eye on that. The second Dragon will be taken at 11 minutes into the game, and Panda might be in trouble here as Soba comes through. No! The unstoppable charge from the Malphite will bring him back to safety.
Yeah, but I think this has been the first proactive play we've seen from Esp as well. I feel like now they're kind of getting in their, on their feet, and oh, they might look for Alistar here on top side. And TP coming up for Malphite.
There's even Canal. There's even Canal, and Sobak and Elijah just caught in a sort of sandwich. Double TP now comes through with the Flag and Drag on the other side of the wall. Is just Sobak being left out completely alone. And he will be the sacrificial lamb for Espagard as Venom Crest now look to push up the top side. Again, Canal moving around the map as soon as he gets an advantage. Okay, Poppy, they just don't stop. They try to go on to Stefan. He gets pushed back with the Keeper's Verdict. And as the feathers fly back to Canal, he will go down to no kills still taken by Espagard. It's just Venom Crest domination.
Yeah, could we look bot for a few seconds here? Because, like, if Aphelios has... Oh, no, he doesn't have red and white, sadly, or else he would have been able to get a few more plates. But 2 plates, potentially 3, with Syndra moving bot. It's all they're able to get. Yeah.
You have to imagine that... You have to imagine that Canal now will look to get more advantages if you can show the gold lead. I think he already has quite a huge gap between... There's quite a huge gap between him and Sky. Didn't expect this much, but it's truly a lot.
Yeah, everywhere but mid lane, actually.
Yeah, mid lane has been kind of quiet since the start of the game, but I imagine Canal will be moved towards that lane in the next minutes to just try and shove in as many waves as you can. And they're looking for that soul. It's an infernal soul, so one of the strongest, and you don't want to miss that.
Yeah, so let's see what they decide to do here on Venom Crest side. How are they gonna open the mid tower? Because that's what they should look for now. There's no real objective spawning soon, so maybe they play top into mid, bot into mid, because they have a lot of dive potential, right? Like they can dive them under the tower. The real question is just how they do it. It looks like they're just overloading as fire on mid. Actually, yeah.
Composites will try to keep the wave at bay. There's an epic flash. There's Sobak. The Pop Blossom will find just one for the moment. As Stefan gets the flag and track onto the Zaya, she still manages to be on top at the end. She makes the feathers fly. They take one in return. So Composites gets a shutdown, if I'm not wrong. But Venom Crest still pushing up this mid lane. They look just unstoppable. The siege continues.
Yeah, and Esp gets their first kill of the game, and Skip, or yeah, sorry if I butcher his name, but he's getting a few more plates bot lane. He will die here though, but maybe he's able to get the whole tower. He will be able to get the whole tower with plates dying now, so the defense of the tower will lower.
It's worth.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Good death, you know?
I mean, he'll just fall here.
Will he get the last CS?
He got it. Worth got the wave. He got the wave. He goes 0 and 2, but he got the wave. He got the tower.
Yeah. I mean, you can see the pink one in bot. I think that's been there since like minute 5 or something. The really deep one, right? It was before the first Drake. Alistar put it down, and it's been there ever since then.
Yeah, the game of vision from Venom Crest is just spectacular. They always seem to have the whole map worded out, and they're just never taken by surprise. They always know what's coming to them, and they always know where to move. Now, the Cataclysm is not up yet for Stefan here. It's just going to be Modlishka and Canal pushing up this mid lane as much as they can.
Yeah, you can see they're looking to overload mid again. Maybe not with Panda, but S4. Nah, I think they're just focused on the Herald now. They will get mid anyway. And after Herald, I guess we'll just see what they do, because they're so strong, they might just overload on one side. Mid, top, bot. They can just choose whatever.
You also have to imagine they'll try to get the 20 minutes Baron as soon as it spawns. It's just going to be so easy for Venom Crest to try and get that unless Espagard puts up a fight. Until then, the Dragon is going to be up in 40 seconds. And
Yeah,
Venom Crest has a Herald. Do you think they can just put down the Herald and go Dragon? Just like
I mean, what they could have done is like, you know, like just ignore the Drake, right? Because they're out of vision, and Esp will assume that they're playing bot side. So there's a lot of mind games that can happen here. For example, Esp might look top side instead, right, and give them Drake. But then they might be like a big flank. They get Herald and they still get the Drake because they read them. Or Esp could overload on bot while Venom Crest plays top, and then they might, you know, be able to get like 2 towers instead, and maybe even mid tower if they rotate correctly. But it looks like Esp will, you know, try to steal the Drake maybe?
Yeah, they're sending 3 people right now. The Aphelios is still a bit far, and Elijah has to TP in case he wants to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Still dragging out the Drake. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to steal. No, it's... Oh, maybe it is.
Flag and drag, he gets blocked, he gets the smite, he gets the steal. Stefan with clinging to the last bit of hope that Espagard has. Gets the steal with the flag and drag. Good
yeah,
enough,
and
I guess.
Aphelios clears the mid wave as well, so they won't be able to get anything else from it. Okay, they got Rel. Actually, I missed it.
It's a 2-for-1 in the end, with 2 falling from Espagard, but they got the Dragon, they got the Drake. It's an Infernal one, so pretty good one. Get some extra damage you truly need at this moment. It's still going to be a Herald put down by Owl. Together with Canal, they're going to try to siege as much as they can, touch on the side, just acting as a god, as a bodyguard. They managed to get 1 more charge and then probably call it a day.
Yeah, so, I mean, initially, thinking about the Drake play, I didn't think it was possible to steal it, because if Saya times her E with Poppy Smite, it's really... Okay, wait.
Okay, Venom Crest with a bit of a late retreat here. Touch will get marked, half HP onto the Alistar. He has the ultimate, he has the flash, he has the ignite. You have to think Venom Crest is safe right now. Almost, he will just get the Braum before going out. And I think this is it for the moment. It's 2 minutes, sorry, to Baron. And you have to imagine they'll try to set somehow for that.
Yeah, but they're pinging the bot tower, so they might look for that. Oh, a pause came in. Okay.
All right, so situation. Is it looking good for Espagard?
6.4k gold down. A bit of a disaster, I would say, especially when Venom Crest has such an easy comp to play. They can, you know, just press buttons and go in and kill, you know? It's not harder than that.
Yeah, as I said, they saw the pinging bot tower. They're probably heading towards that point of the map. Modlishka, I think that's him in the jungle. I can't really guess just by looking at the map which Zaya is which.
Yeah, I think...
Okay, yeah, Modlishka going on the side against Elijah. With touch, even moving towards that part of the map. TP is not up for Panda, but there's no objectives on the map, so for the moment it's just going to be a sort of a stare down between Touch and Sobak to see who puts more vision.
Yeah, so you can see, okay, they're looking for a play.
Yeah, Canal get stunned.
Yeah.
Not a good stun. Maybe quite a nice double stun from Compass. Canal has to waste the ultimate to survive that one. An accelerated shockwave finds Touch again, and Canal has to back away. He can't really participate.
They're looking on Malphite.
Looking at Malphite, 3 members from Venom Crest bot side instead. They will be able to take the tower out. So he gets onto Canal and he gets shut down. Goes to Compass. It's 3-0 with this same flash. But here comes Touch, a double knock up, a triple knockup. And the multi-vigil will steal it up for Espagard as they try to think with the last hope they have. But it's there's nothing to do. It's 4 members from Venom Crest still standing in the end.
Yeah, and Compass got that shutdown, a huge shutdown. So, you know, he's Esp's only hope at this point. He's finishing Rabadon as well, so he's quite strong now. Yeah, well, just look at the replay and see what exactly happened, because they gave the bot tower for here.
Yeah, Canal got just marked instantly. Okay. But this re-engage.
Yeah, really good follow-up by me like Panda and What was it? I don't. So many things
It was
coming
just
on my screen.
it was just Touch, Owl, and Panda just stacking up CC over one another. Just so
Jumping
many
in, right?
knockups.
Yeah.
Just that. Now, 20 minutes into the game. Venomcrest
Okay,
moving
maybe
towards the
another
top
big.
side of the map. Owl
Oh,
now,
the
maybe
damage.
another big. He gets taken down by the Ignite, and the shutdown goes to Stefan. Can now try to
And he
respond
survives.
with the damage. Touch, no. He just manages to push
Look,
Stefan
it is.
out on the other side of the wall. Modlishka on the other
almost.
side, hit by the accelerated shock blast. But Venomcrest loses one, and it's Owl. In such an important moment, you have to think that that's such a good kill for Espegard.
Yeah, another shutdown. Was it 600 gold? I think. The only bad, sadly, it didn't go to composites. Jama was able to get it with the smite. But hey, 900 gold is 900 gold. You know, we don't complain.
But this is what we said about Espegard in the beginning, right? They don't have the strongest early game, but they can turn the tables around. They can do a whole comeback, and those are early signs of it. Let's see if Venomcrest actually falls to it now.
We're looking for top now.
Might top onto
get-
Panda.
yeah,
It's the
yes.
Sun with Stefan and Sky. Both are there. The tower is pretty low. Will not be able to protect Panda that much, but he still manages to make it out in the end.
Yeah, but now they're quite in a sticky situation here. Okay, they're looking for another fight.
They're moving on to Touch here. Owl will try to push back one. He gets one. Touch with the engage, gets the triple knockup. Pop Blossom goes in, gets two, and they're one shot immediately. Canal able to clean up the place together with Modlishka. So many chakrams stuck up by Sky, but he can't really manage to hit anything.
No one looked Malphite. They might look for more here.
Does he have ultimate? He does not have an ultimate. He does have a flash instead. Hextech flash by 2 over the other
Yeah,
side of
they're
the wall.
just going for the
No.
Baron.
Okay. It's time for the dance around the Baron. Do you actually see Espegard trying to contest this somehow?
I mean, probably in their minds they're thinking that they really have to. But, you know, it looks like they're all... Look, Alistar though. Okay, gets
Green
a good...
white on Aphelios. It's green white on Aphelios. It's a good engage. Modlishka is still up, and Canal, well, he managed to take one kill as Touch goes down. It's another shutdown that goes to Elijah. Panda trying to stand in the face of adversity, blocking up every single sort of engage from Espegard's shock blast finds both Modlishka and Canal. Sobak trying to chase in hot pursuit. It's Espegard, but they just don't manage to follow up easily.
Yeah, they will get the
towards the Drake.
Yeah, and Venomcrest doesn't have any TPs up, you know, so they might have a hard time contesting this. You can even see Saya cancel the recall. They're looking.
Okay, Owl pushes the Javan on his own wall. The Cataclysm still stands up, now goes down. Owl goes down as well. Panda goes in with the unstoppable charge. He will get taken out as Canal tries to clean up the place. Elijah pushes him back. It's a triple kill that goes to Canal. And those feathers hurt so damn much. Now it's time for the Dragon. Elijah will have to back away. He has the TP up. But it doesn't really look like they want to contest Elijah going over the top side. He's pinging that top tower. At least that's going to be a bounty.
Holy moly.
That's not a soul point this time at 24 minutes into the game. Elijah, as I said, will manage to take the top tower out, but Canal, he's looking so damn strong. You can't stop this Zaya in like ages.
Yeah, we need to see some spicy plays coming from SPR in order to get back into the game. They're down 7k gold, a bit more actually, and it's a soul point, and they also have the Baron buff. I mean, what's gonna happen now is like very predictable that Venomcrest will go top because there's a tier 2 tower there. Question is, will S prepare some type of bush? You know, doesn't look like it.
He smited it. He smited it and even pushed Stefan on the wall. Now Cataclysm will take him.
Really good ult. He's smurfed.
Flag and drag away, my man.
Yeah, he ulted, got unstoppable. Touch wasn't able to CC him, and they just EQs out.
You have to find a way to stop this siege by Venomcrest. There's going to be a TP in the mid lane from Modlishka. He'll push the mid wave. They're trying to get onto two different waves, two different lanes, to try and just suffocate Espegard as much as they can. Panda, eyes on him. He has an ultimate. He's He's the unseen threat right now. He's seen now, but he's the unseen threat again now as he clears up the word. Okay, Owl gets the push on the wall on Stefan. So on the other side, Dutch goes for the engage. Golden goes composite, trying to buy as much time as possible. Canal responding with the damage. Modlishka comes through and gets the Pop Blossom clutch onto composite. Goes Golden to buy some even more time. And it's another triple kill that goes to Venom Crest in the end. They're looking for the ace now as Elijah, though. It's the hero for Espegard.
One EQ.
A double kill. EQ, no!
Could have been 1k.
Okay, he can still manage to do something. He has to at least clear the wave, or if Venom Crest just decide to retreat, maybe he can do something.
Yeah, I mean, Venom Crest, they're looking for end, actually. I don't think they can end. Maybe one tower. But they can for sure not end.
You don't have to risk it. That shock blast did so much onto Canal. You have to run away from this. Sobak has the exit flash, not a flash. We'll try to block, and Dutch will probably be the sacrifice at this point. You have to take Canal out. He goes to try and run away from this, and he managed to do so in the end. Whew. A heist from Venom Crest, I have to say. They managed to make it out with so much gold in their pockets. Only Touch falling.
Yeah. A bit greedy. It's fine though, doesn't change much. Oh. Okay, they're looking.
Okay, unstoppable charge again onto Elijah. He's pretty damn low. Modlishka is a minion, and now it's a Pot Blossom that lands on the 2 again. Stefan, he didn't really expect that, did he? And, well, Olowski managed to grab up a double, and they're pinging the base. They want to do it. Panda has a TP. Yeah. Canal is coming, pushing up the wave.
He has to find something here. Does he know? He doesn't know.
He doesn't know about the minion. Modlishka just goes straight up frontline against Composites. Again, showing him the power of the Nico Hex tech. Forward, he managed to take up 1 kill, but Sky responds with the Moonlight Vigil and has quite a lot of chakram stacked up. Red-white on that Aphelios will come in handy. The Malphite ultimate is already used, but Canal just can't be stopped. He goes 13-1 with 7 assists, 700 gold bounty, and Panda just dances in the face of Espegard as Venom Crest look to grab their sweet victory in the end.
Okay, it's not over till it's over though.
Okay, Feathers fly, stunned up, flash from the Zai. He can't go out of the Cataclysm, but he still manages to take out the job, and Panda on the other side together with Dutch pushes back Elijah, and in the end, Venom Crest will not be denied, they will not be stopped, and after 18 victories, 18 in a row, they will not bend the knee until the end. They managed to make the perfect split, not the perfect split, but the perfect regular season happen.
Perfect regular season with a 4-1 Saya. Kinda crazy. The real question is, will they have a perfect split, you know? Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
We move away from the best of ones. It's not that easy anymore, you know?
I mean, maybe it is, you know? Maybe they're not even trying at this point, you know? It's like, it's like whatever, but then we don't know. Like maybe they pull their pants off and go insane in the season, you know, in the playoffs. Just wait and see, man.
You have to imagine the vibe is just immaculate between them right now. They're just partying and screaming and just laughing. Just laughing a lot. Props to them. Remember, it's the first team in like the whole ERLs to do this.
Yeah.
And a perfect regular season in Division 2 NLC. Don't see that every day.
No. It just felt like a complete stomp, you know, throughout the whole game. Sure, they were sloppy at times. Esp was able to get some shutdowns, was able to steal the Drake, was able to get a few picks, but I mean, all in all, you can't ask for much more from Venomcrest, honestly. It just felt like the game was always in their hands.
I really hope we can hear from someone of them just to see what's the vibe right now in the team. Huh? You have to feel legendary. Modlishka getting such a nice achievement at a really young age in the end. Owl just being amazing all around the map. Panda, Canal coming in clutch this last game. Insane KDA on Zaya and Touch bench pressing more than the entire NLC.
How much does he bench press, man?
I actually don't know. If he comes for an interview, I would like to ask him.
Yeah, we need to know.
Important question.
Need to know. No, it's personal now.
But there's another side of the story. Espegard, sadly, is out of playoffs right now, which means we have our teams. We have the 6 champions that will play against themselves in the playoffs to see who's actually the best. Right now, it's Venom Crest without a shadow of doubt after a perfect regular season. You have to imagine their playoffs run will be deep and will be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, my question is like, obviously they haven't lost yet, but what team has made them bleed the most? Like, what team are you looking at? Like, this team has a chance to take down Venom Crest.
I mean, the obvious
Light
choice will be
side is because I'm looking at the standings, right? And there's like Light side, there's Carolina, I see Monsters. Like, which one of those do you think has the highest chance of taking down Venom Crest? At least one game, you know?
You can put your ideas in chat about what's the team that can actually manage to take down Venom Crest. But for now, the Giants are still standing. We're going to throw it to a break as our broadcast tells us it's going to be Munster, but who knows? We're going to throw it to a break, see if we can get an interview after that. See you guys then.
Peace out.
welcome back. We managed to bring one of them with us. How are you doing now?
Yo, hello guys. I'm really happy to be here, and make me more happy can make the. Oh my god, my English, guys. Okay, we are
Hi.
80. We work a
Yeah.
lot for it, and I'm really glad that we finally did it after, I guess, 1.5 months of work. But our journey didn't end here, and we will move to playoffs, where I would like to fight a lot of teams in best of 5, and playing this team feels very nice, and I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you were you nervous going into this game? It's like, oh shit, perfect split. You know, you might have a few nerves. You know, how was the team atmosphere?
Maybe a little like that, a little bit.
Huh?
But to be honest, I expect from Espergarde a little bit less of pressure in game. It feels like they played really well, even though game was not that long. But team atmosphere was like really well. It feels like everyone was tryharding even more than before,
Okay. Yeah.
and that's kind of understandable, I would say.
Yeah, because I agree. I felt like as an ADC's perspective, looking at bot lane, I felt like you got a lot of breathing room. It felt like they were holding back a bit and just waiting for the late game, where they actually felt more comfortable, like pulling triggers and stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you don't mind me asking, this is like a personal question. I love asking
Sure.
this question. It's like every team you faced, was there any bot lane or any ADC that you felt like, wow, okay, this guy like he has potential, or like he might be a problem in playoffs,
It's kind of hard to say because I feel like after we started 5-0 or maybe more wins, I felt like a lot of bot lanes start respecting us. For example, this game, I felt like enemy bot could do much better,
Yep.
but they are just scared to play against us because we are 17-0, and it looks like we are stomping a lot of teams. But every ADC that I face, I feel like they all on like good level. It's hard to say who's better. Maybe only Anima bot lane. They are fakers.
Okay, Sap,
So-
do you have any question maybe?
How was the vibe just at the end of the game when you were hitting the Nexus? Who was like screaming the most? Who was just laughing, or I don't know. How was the
Okay.
situation?
Okay. It was like that. Okay, we ended game. Okay, guys. Well played. Bye bye.
Okay,
See ya.
yeah.
See ya.
It's just like that. People were like leaving directly. Oh shit.
I mean, inside me, I feel so happy, but I usually don't like overforce my emotions.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone is like that. We're all just extra happy, but we don't scream after win like "Woohoo, we won!" or something like that. We just say, "Okay, guys, GG, solid game,
Yeah.
see you."
This
Something
is
like that.
done.
Ice cold, man, just ice cold. Um, I don't think we'll steal more time for you, but thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
in.
Do you have any like shout outs, like
Yeah.
thanks these guys like for support or stuff?
Teammates, people outside the team? Well,
Uh, it's really hard to say anything. I just wanted to say that, as I said before, I'm really glad to be here. Really good to be 18-0, but we don't stop here. We go for playoffs and just see how far we can go. I think that's only one. And yeah, guys, thank you for inviting them. Maybe see you in playoffs interview if you win. If you win.
Hey, congrats on the win, man. Yeah, I guess we'll go to the next game. MRG versus Anima. MRG fighting for third place.
yeah,
It's gonna be
can
interesting,
Munster
man.
manage to get the third place? You'll be able to see in the next game new people and new players. Stay tuned. It's coming in just a few minutes.
Peace out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the NLC Division 2 main broadcast. I am your lovely host here, and one of the casters today, Ramboy, and joined with these the producer / color caster, Brackish Brit. How you doing there, bud? Okay, I'm going to keep it all busy because we got a very exciting game today because we got the last regular split game for MRG, and if MRG wins this game, they can force a tiebreaker with K5 for third place, which we don't know when that's going to be played quite yet, but that's the case. If they lose today and Lions Crest wins their game against 42 and wins their other game, there's a tiebreaker for fourth. So regardless, yeah. Yep. Okay, I'll keep talking. Regardless of whether or not MRG wins, they might have to play a tiebreaker. They're guaranteed to play a tiebreaker if they win today. If they lose, there's a small chance. If Anima wins today and Invulnerable win and actually no, that's not going to happen because Anima's already invulnerable. Wait, no, that's invulnerable. Sorry. If Anima win, Invulnerable win one, lose one. There's a tiebreaker for ninth. If Anima lose and Invulnerable lose both their games, there's a tiebreaker for ninth as well.
So. Invulnerables are playing 2 games against Lundqvist Lightside, so they are predicted to lose that, but if they are able to scratch a win and Anima lose this, then there will be a tiebreaker for 9th place. That's still both teams being in relegation, but 9th versus 10th is a different that you do obviously want to go for. And so Anima will be fighting tooth and nail.
In 42, because of the win by Venom Crest last game, they are guaranteed not to have to go to relegation this split. They have saved themselves and are now that guaranteed 8th place spot for out of relegation. And now we are going to jump into the draft here. Okay. You get the Aurelian Soul Band, I believe. Sorry, some things are getting blocked off here on my vision. Yeah, I get it's okay. So honestly, to give a lot of credit to Brackish, he has been doing production on top of casting. That is not an easy job here, folks. So the fact that he's doing this, we have to thank him a lot for it. So we get the Kane band, we get the Aurelian Soul band. Aurelian Soul, we saw that band last game if I understand correctly, it's going to be MRG on blue side and Anima on, yes. Okay, there we go. And yeah, we saw that band before. Zed band as well is something that they like to target against Influentic, who does play a good amount of Zed. Kane Nidalee targeting towards a jungler of Frost here for Anima. And then the Kaisa band.
That's, as meta can be, really.
Yeah, I know. Kaisa just so flexible. And then speaking of flexibility, we also get that Tristana as well. Also just as flexible. And speaking of more flexibility, we got the Rel pick as well. We saw this last game yesterday in MRG's game. They picked that Rel, and that just allowed them to have this massive flexibility in their draft and really confused their opponents when it came to their draft because they don't know if there's a support or jungle Rel. So very good first pick.
This is the real treat of 13-14 and a couple of the previous patches as well, that so many of the popular picks can be played in several roles. As you said, Rel can be jungle or support. That's a little bit less of a flex pick. That'll just go straight onto Frost. Less of the carries that he does like to play. Frost plays some Graves, plays some Kindred this split, but not too surprising that because we are going more to heavily emphasizing on your mid and bot lane carries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting that CC, trying to enable them, or at least even sometimes peel for them as well. Potential, yep, the Syndra gets locked in here for Capstock in the mid lane. Syndra just is, Syndra can delete champions. Even in the last game, we saw that Syndra had a lot of these opportunities to pick off some targets because she was so powerful. She can get ahead, especially with those changes that she did with the execute now on her ultimate, as well as the extra ball that she has. She's a much better champ right now. Now we'll see the second champ coming in from MRG that they're going to lock in a...
Oh, that's Karga's Aatrox.
Aatrox. Okay.
Yep. Everyone... So, obviously the meme that surrounds the MRG fanbase, at least, is Karga's Lutonk. the Frenchman who likes to play tanks. This is not entirely true, and this split has shown that. He's been amazing on Gwen. He has liked to have the Olaf. He has played a game of Aatrox. It didn't go amazingly, but I really like to see him have priority. And Influentic hasn't been that much of the forefront carry player, mostly been doing stuff like the Cassante. Now going to go for Azir, wants to try and match the range of the Syndra, and it also means that he can be more of a facilitator, more of an enabler for Nord and Shakur when we get around to picking for him later in the draft.
Yep. Yeah, I really like that. I really like both those picks coming in as we get the Gnar pick up here. Yep, more than likely coming in, and then we get into the ban. So far, I really like MRG's draft so far. They chose some really powerful champs as well as still leaving that flexibility right now. Anima still doesn't have that question answered. Where is that rel going? Is that a support rel? What can we be expecting from their bot lane? But we'll probably see it within their next pick.
Yeah, if they specifically pinch a one of the pools, be it jungle or support, then you can maybe suppose that it will force the rel to be put into that role, unless, of course, for example, I don't know, you pinch jungle and then leave Rakan up, which is one of Moosey's favorites. Not something that I expect to happen, although worth noting, one of Shakur's favorite champions, the Xayah, not to be seen in this draft thus far.
So far. But remember, we did see in last game, they left it open, but Shakur opted not to go for that Xayah last time.
One more ban to go through. Still no Xayah to be seen, though. Like, if it doesn't get picked up by Relentless here, I feel like Shakur and Moosey can just go, all right, bet, we lock Xayah Rakan, what now?
Yep. They have that option here right now.
They have to.
Yep, there's the pick. Yeah, they have to take it. There's just no other choice. So that means, what are we going to see here from Shakur? I'm honestly expecting potentially another Jinx. Jinx, he played a really good Jinx last game. So
the thing
that's
is that
something that we can see.
The thing is, this team is not quite as well set up to protect a Jinx, because you've got the Aatrox, who is mostly going to be playing aggressively, you know, a little bit more selfishly. You don't have a traditional tank to go alongside this rel. Of course, we do still have a final pick to come through, so they could try and supplement that. Shakur is going to go for the Orphelios this time around. And Moosey could also go towards the Milio. It's not fully a tank meta. And of course, Milio, 2 games played by Moosey, 2 wins on it as well. I think I'm liking what I see here.
Yeah, and then Millie is just perfect for the Felios as well as...
Never mind.
No, never mind?
I was so convinced when I saw the Rakan flex. But that maybe they're trying to bait Dovendir, who is also, I believe, quite a Rakan player. It turns out, supports like playing Rakan. Go figure.
Whenever I play support, I play Rakan because he has that level of mobility and the level to peel and go in and engage as well. So he's a very, very strong pick. Oh...
Now, that would be a bit of fun. You want one way to punish Emilio? Grab a hook champion. If that lad is stood anywhere he isn't meant to be, he just dead. Breath of Life
Same with the Melios too.
These safety abilities, they don't matter. You get hooked, you die. In this composition, one misstep from MRG could cost them a team fight. And we know they play a bit fast and loose sometimes. This could be the exact pick to punish that kind of loose style.
Yeah, absolutely. When you got two pretty immobile champions that are pretty important to like the amount of damage or sustain that they have, the Milio and the Aphelios, if they get caught out, I don't know how MRG is going to come back from a fight. Yes, they might get that good Emperor's Divide, but if you don't have the damage coming in from the Aphelios, you're kind of in a bad spot.
If you get to 2-3 items, though, there is also just the Karga insurance policy, which is something MRG have fallen back on quite a bit this split. On an Aatrox, who is incredibly strong 13-14, if all of the focus, all of the CC goes onto the Aphelios, then that just means that the World Ender can put the rest of the enemy team in the dirt if they have not got more things to put him down as well.
All right, folks, we are almost on to the Rift here. Any last-minute predictions, any last-minute thoughts you want to throw in here before we jump on to the Rift?
I know we're meant to be impartial, but I think most people in NLC know that we basically followed Munster's journey throughout the split. It's hard to bet for Anima, of course. They're 3-14. I think that they have built a comp that can do great things. They have a lot of ability to engage. They have a lot of ability for picks with the likes of the Syndra and the Blitzcrank. This could be exactly the composition, that, as we were saying, though, that could punish a little bit of carelessness from MRG, which we have seen. However, MRG, they should be thinking, 3rd and 4th, okay, sure, it doesn't make the hugest difference, but 3 is better than 4. And at the end of the day, it's a pride thing. You want to win this game. You want to set yourself up as best as possible for success when playoffs roll around. And dropping a game to Anima, that's not a good look.
No. Yeah, especially just trying to ride the momentum, potentially into some tiebreaker games, or just even into the playoffs alone. You want to keep that good momentum going in. And losing against one of the lower end teams is, yeah, as you said, is not going to help you at all. But we are about to jump to the second game of this main broadcast between MRG and Anima. Not a lot on stakes compared to yesterday's, but still some stakes nonetheless in terms of seeding and placement. So don't go anywhere, folks, as we are just trying to get this game started here.
And we will be finding ourselves onto the Rift in just a second's time while I press some buttons. I hold all the power here.
You're god of this broadcast. And there we are. We are onto the Rift here, folks. Exciting games here. Yeah.
Too much multitasking. I don't have time for
Way
that.
too much multitasking. I mean, they kind of are omnipotent, so I guess that kind of helps. Omnipotent and omniscient, so I think that's how like the gods do it. I don't know.
I could do with some
I'm
of
not
that.
a theologian.
5 members of MRG at bot lane.
Yep, 5 members of MRG at bot lane. Meanwhile, Anima is just staying split across the map. No shenanigans so far, though. Honestly, I kind of wanted Anima to invade. That's such a good way if they want to start off strong. Tilting or getting that mental off could be so massive, as just one straight hook could end MRG's whole career. Well, that's an overstatement, but
a little overstatement, but we understand the lyricism of it. And worth noting, that means that there is a complete lack of vision knowledge for either team in the opposing jungle. Yep. There's a defensive ward set up just by the mid lane for Anima, and it means that, nobody's going to know where anybody is. Both junglers, fortuitously for us, are going to be starting towards the top side. That's not really a shock if you've been following any of Monster's games. They are transparently bot lane focused. They are always trying to play for Shakur. However, this game could go the other way, just because the Aphelios, the Aatrox, is there for Kaga.
Yep. And I have a feeling that this poor Aphelios is going to be the target of so many hooks and so many stuff.
I hope so, honestly.
Game. Yeah, that's going to be how Anima kind of pulls this together. I'm honestly waiting for Dovendir to get that just hope that just starts it all steamrolling in their favor.
Yeah, one hook in the right place is all it takes to set up a fantastic pick, win a fight, get yourself an objective. And while I don't expect super early kills to come through, unless Musi is the one hooked, like, Shakur should be fine once he hits the level 2, of course, because he gets the lifesteal from that Severum Q. Right now, Relentless Dovendir, they get the level 2 first, but they're the ones actually the ones playing a little bit more defensively.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to let them make the mistake, let them make that first move, and then just go for that counter strike instead of just trying to play proactive and might be, whiffing or leaving themselves open themselves. So nothing too unusual here. I am honestly expecting, based on how these junglers are pathing, I'm expecting something to go down towards this bot side, as a lot of trading coming in, as I think they were able to hook onto Musi. He did have to use the heal.
Yeah, Summoner already down the bot side, and we're saying that is what the Blitzcrank can do to you if you disrespect. Wave still shoving in, though. Both junglers bot side.
Vin taking a lot of damage, getting hit by 3 sweet spots in a row. Kaga doing fantastic work on that Aatrox.
Yeah, laying down plenty of hurt onto Vinze early. Right now, just trying to leverage that pressure. Obviously, it could potentially allow Nord to try and put the slightly awkward situation onto Vinze, but they are just going to peace out. Frost spots it out, and Capstock does have the roam out from mid here.
Can he get a stun? 2-man stun onto a lot of people now coming in, followed in by
Moosey.
Frost. Moosey is in so much trouble, but able to use that shield and healing away. That Cozy Campfire is able to help him get far back and away. Ooh, that kind of got scary there. No sums were blown by either side, though.
Good nerve from Moosey to not flash there. I probably would have done it in a heartbeat, but then again, I am like low gold, so take from that what you will.
I probably wouldn't flash and I would have just died. So that's
Reasonable.
kinda the Iron
the
mentality.
two different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, you got Iron, Gold, and then you got, you know, Masters, GMs coming in.
Yeah. Knowing your limits obviously is a very, very big part of this higher level play. Right now, Anima are actually doing pretty well for themselves. They've managed to get slight farm advantages in several places.
Ooh. You got out the back on Relentless. That actually is going to hurt him a bit. He's going to lose a bit
Yeah.
of farm.
If MLG can shove this wave in quickly enough, Vinze might be in a little bit of trouble here. Nord looking for the roam, but Frost is here.
Yeah, Frost is here as well. Missed that first sweep spot on the Q and getting the knockup, trying to get that other hit. But I think Kaga's just going to fall back. He's less than half HP. I don't think he wants to go in any further, especially as the wave's coming straight into him.
The CC from Nord was great there, though. Realizing that Frost was coming in, gets the crash down onto Vinze to ensure that he can't aggress onto Kaga. Diffuses the play. Obviously not what they wanted, but does mean that Kaga is kept safe. Dorvandir looking towards mid here.
Oh,
Finds
flash
it and-
hook, gets him far from it. They
He's
got
gone.
the ignite. He's taking it away, but he gets the shield. I think he's going to live just a little bit of HP, and
Oh
he
my
barely
word.
gets out. He's at 5 HP.
That's a hoodwink right there. There is no force on this earth that should have allowed Influentic to survive that. Simply numbers, son, and he keeps it going. That is a large commitment from Anima, of course. Flash burned by Dorvandir, but has Hex Flash. However, Relentless, gonna have to be careful.
Yep, he can't come in. He can't even flash over the
I-
wall. He has
I
to
don't
hex
see it.
flash over. Doesn't have the ignite. I think Relentless is going to
Oh,
die.
Moosey!
Moosey under tower. Moosey might die first. Moosey dies first. First blood goes over to Anima, but Shacker's able to trade it right back onto Relentless.
He had to flash to ensure Shakur didn't get hooked. Gives over the first blood, which is actually a winning play there for Anima, and now we see Frost
Oh,
coming
no.
towards the bot lane.
Yeah, hex flash into the bush. Frost coming in
Shakur
behind.
does have it.
Does have flash. Is going to respectfully flash, but gets knocked right back.
Yep,
Hooked,
he's dead.
Even under tower, he's going to die.
And Anima, listening to the MRG playbook, they know that they want to play around the bot side, so they bring the hurt to the bot side. Moosey has taken a death. Shakur has taken a death. First blood picked up for Relentless. That'll be fairly even in the long run. Worth noting, though, of course, that Shakur did go for the cull, so gold-wise, he is up in the long run.
Yep. Now they're up about 700 gold. This dragon has spawned as well. Shacker finally getting into the lane right now. Trading up in topside. I just want to take a quick look. We still got TPs up on both top laners, I just realized.
They're looking
Especially
towards
with this
early
TP.
Drake play, maybe.
Yeah, TP changes allowed them at 10 minutes to, use that Unleashed Teleport to influence the map. Don't think that's going to quite happen in 3 minutes, but something to do keep in mind as we go forward here.
It also means that they can protect against potential dives. Kuga might just be sat there going, okay, well, if they try and gank bot lane again, I can try and keep Shakur and Moosey safe. Just hold on to that until the Unleashed comes through. Right now, though, bot lane is prio for Munster, and so they're going to move across, look to secure their first Drake of the game.
Oh, but Dovendir's lurking around. He knows that if he can get land a hook, he has two team
There's
members
numbers
right
coming in
there.
here.
Here comes the ultimate coming in for Frost. Now, Dovendir, he wants to get the hooks. Gets it onto the Milio. Milio in trouble, getting CC to death. Shield a little bit, is able to stall. But there
Wants
comes
to leave.
the Emperor's Divide from Moosey in order to keep everybody away. But it's not going to matter as Frost is going to help get the kill. Cavstock gets that
There
kill
is a
onto
shoot.
the Azir. But Nord is still able to get the dragon. He's still
dies for
stuck.
it, though.
If he could get the knockback.
Oh, no,
but look at that
Fukara!
hook! No! Shacker gets hooked back over to the wall to the waiting arms of Anima, and that's going to be 4 kills going over to Anima.
It's a Blitzcrank diff. We talk about it. MRG sometimes plays a bit fast and loose. They play too fast, too loose. They give up 4 bodies for the privilege of taking the Drake that they started.
Yeah. They got punished so hard.
We've
for
got to see that again.
Except,
Coming in
I honestly
here.
want to see that again. I know the biggest thing there was Frost had his ultimate up, and that's how he was able to engage Cat
So,
out Moosey.
with Moosey dead here, the problem is Nord flashed out of the pit and then ends up milling around not sure what to do. Has to jump back over the wall to secure with the smite. I think Shakur was trying to find some kind of pick in trade, but Dovendir knows exactly what is going on and will punish him dearly for it.
What a great hook. Honestly, that was kind of Shakur's fault there because he did hit that ward that was under the control ward, so that gave him the vision at that last second. Easy hook over the wall. Any Blitzcrank knows how to do that.
Yeah, and MLG now finding themselves in a bit of a gold disadvantage right now. Have to slow the tempo of the game down a touch while they wait for the game to come back their way. Shakur and Musi do have push towards the bot side right now. Look at this roaming Death Squad style. Capstock and Dovendir roaming around together. A hook into a Scatter the Weak, into an Unleash Power. That is going to mean a body in a bag. Relentless is holding the wave nicely.
Oh, Dovendir, there's no wave to protect them if he wants to go forward. Does have that flash.
But Nord spotted!
Takes that blast clear, but he's spotted. Now Nord's right on top of him, keeping CC. Now Dovendir having to come back, retreat, trying to help him. Influencer's going to come in. The Magnesaur is going to get scattered the weak away, but that still hits. Influencer is right on top of him, getting the last auto and the kill. Shutdown going over to Influencer.
Good rotation. The Azir gets out of mid lane. It is technically lower than Capstock, but it gets a hell of a lot more done. Great predict from Nord, knowing that Capstock was out of mid lane and opting for the catch here.
They catch out Influencer. Influencer is going to just die there.
And this is the key problem. You have the combination of hook plus Nature's Grasp. If you land the hook first, then the Nature's Grasp is guaranteed to land. If you land the Nature's Grasp, the hook is guaranteed to land. We need to see Mikhails out of Musi, I think. Yep. We need to see one, and it needs to be like fastest hands in the West usage on that to ensure that members don't get handed to the wolves over and over and over again.
Yep. He does technically have his own cleanse with his ultimate, but if he's not in range or that's on cooldown, it's honestly worth a bit. 2, yeah, you're right. 2 is better than 1. Is better than 1.
Oh yeah, how about having 2?
Honestly, could Nord also build into that as well?
Potentially, although that would compromise his build to an extent. I wouldn't recommend it. I think Nord needs to just build up, be as tanky as possible, and be the sort of person who positions in the way that says, okay, Dovendir, you want to land a hook? Okay, well, you've just hooked a rel into your team. You have just put me exactly where I want to be, and I've still got all of my buttons.
Yep. A good Magnet Storm onto a backline could be massive and turn the fight in their favor. Can we get the gold again? Because I already see that first item's already complete for Relentless. Meanwhile, honestly, where's most of that gold coming from? Coming from a mix of jungle and bot lane, it looks like.
Frost going to steal that blue buff away. Unfortunately, Nord's smite wasn't quite available at the time. Cargo, of course, has to respect a potential dive as well.
Yep. Staying away. Still has the World Ender. I don't think either top laner has used the TP the entire game.
Nope. Don't believe so. It does mean that they now have the Unleashed ones, though.
Yep. They could go around the back. Shakur getting that second tower. Red-White is really good for trying to break down these towers. He could get a third one as well.
Yep, solo play as well, good guy. Actually, Musi was given the plate gold, but that's still fine. And Shakur is only 2 CS away from finishing off the cull as well. So gold-wise, he is a little bit behind, but not as much as the items might suggest.
Yep. Oh my gosh, those Q sweet spots absolutely hurt from Aatrox, especially after those buffs. Wait, is Kago going to try to look for the solo kill? Try to go for the Q2, doesn't quite land it, but now Vin's turning about, hitting those autos, getting those stacks.
Yeah, Vin's
looking for it. Oh, he's looking for the He wants this. He knows he doesn't have Meganor right now. Flashes away from the Q3. Q3 still lands.
Oh, no.
It's going to do the job. Solo bolo for Kaga in the top lane.
Chains land, and there was no way out for Vinze. Tried to flash the Q2, which meant that there was no way out for him. Herald is going to get dropped in the mid lane. Some gold into the pockets of Capstock and Frost.
I don't think it went into Capstock pops. I think it only went to Frost.
Did it? Oh, well. Animorite going to look to turn that into a Drake of their own. Of course, MRJ picked up the first one. They are in no position to contest right now. They want Shakur to get scaled up, and we see the respect. I do love to see a Gale Force pickup ensure or make it more difficult for that Blitzcrank to find you.
Yep. Honestly, good on MRG. They've closed this gold gap. It used to be about 2k. Now it's down to only about 1. Having to get over the wall. Influencing, having to flash. He gets under tower, but now here comes the TP coming in. That's trying to use the Emperor's Divide to at least keep him back under tower. Flash over the wall coming in for Frost, but flash right back from Kaga. Gets the chains. It hits right back. He should be able to get the kill. One more auto should do the job. One more Q dashes forward, but gets knocked back away. But North's now going to be here. He lands a stun. Just going to go back. I think he's going to sacrifice his life and ensure he gives the gold over to North instead of giving the gold over to Kaga.
Shakur, you gotta be careful here. There is a Hex Flash available. Dovendir looking for the angle in. Hook lands.
Hooks him, gets landed, but now here comes the ultimate coming in from Musi.
He gets the flash out though.
Alive, but they're going to turn this fight around. One more auto is going to do it. He has the green gun for the range, trying to get it. He goes onto relentless. One less auto shutdown, going over to Shakur.
And that's the Gale Force. You can use it defensively, you can use it aggressively. Dovendir finds the hook, but the follow-up from Relentless, not quite there. They're going to have to give up this bot lane. That should be first brick secured for MRG here. That's the turnaround you want. Big gold infusion into Shakur. Get this Aphelios rolling. Get him catching up with the game that started to leave him behind a little bit.
Yeah, now the goalie's in their favor. I honestly have to give credit for Musi there. Coming in, using his cooldowns, using the heal, using the Breath of Life in order to keep Shakur alive. Honestly, props to Musi for keeping him alive there.
Gotta watch out top lane. It seems like there is an interest in some chicken or turkey.
Oh, there's a death squad coming up there.
Being
oh no,
Influentic's
pushing up too.
That might actually work out better for him. It looked like the push was coming in sooner. Now here it comes. There's no flash. The Emperor's Divide will try and keep him safe, but there is the Nature's Grasp. This is the combo. I've been saying it.
Yep.
Nature's Grasp lands, hook is trivial.
Yep. It's also like the little pixel, the edge of it. He used that Emperor's Divide at least to give them enough space where they would have to commit more on something like a flash or something. But I don't know, Dovendir just hook his build different. Able to land that away. Flash coming in for Nora is trying to dodge the stun from Capstock. That would have just meant death that Dovendir could easily follow up. Shakur and Kaga both waiting in the white wings with Musi. They might try to go for this Herald. Are they going to contest this?
Finzay's already started it off. Where are we looking in terms of Influentic? TP coming in from behind here. Dovendir is the one who has been found. Nord going to look for the angle in here. Hasn't used the Magnet Storm just yet. There it is, but he's getting melted down. Dovendir goes down, but a lot of bodies have been traded back. Gotta follow this one through.
Kaga tries to go in, gets that net.
Do they know where Frost is
right now?
They don't know where Frost is.
Oh, they don't know where he is.
Clearly not.
Yep, clearly not. As it said, MRG just going to push in this mid wave.
And then another extremely bloody fight. It ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of Anima, but the ending prio comes towards MRG. Anima didn't even pick up the Herald, although Shakur, gotta be careful here. Nature's Grasp is going to be up shortly.
Oh, Hex Flash is going to go over the wall. Frost putting himself in his position. Dodges the stun. Dovendir doesn't want to commit the hook.
That's
Shakur
just it.
Gets alive.
That's just it. If you can Gale Force the first piece of CC in the chain, then all of the other ones become so much harder to land. So this is the situation. If you, well, flash, dash, anything, do it before the first stun lands.
Yep. Honestly, Musi's second item, you better be building that Mikhail's just for the rest of your team, because God knows that they need it right now. As Anima going right back again, trying to get this Herald, and I think they're going to get it with no contest coming in from MRG, with Dragon up in about 50 seconds.
They're all on resets right now, so that's not terribly surprising. MRG trying to set up that Drake vision. Get Prio coming in.
X Flash over the wall. They try to look for Relentless. Not getting close enough.
Forces the Ghost, though.
Oh, going to commit. Trying to get on top of him, but not quite able to. Honestly, I thought they were going to go for it. But
they
honestly,
got the Ghost
that's not something that MRG should... Yeah, they got the Ghost, but that's not something that MRG should be going for, because they've been punished so many times throughout this entire split when they try to get too aggressive.
Yeah. But I think this particular situation, that was tempered aggression. They knew that they weren't going to be able to kill Relentless, really, but getting the Ghost off him for these next few minutes is going to be pretty big. It should make a difference if MRG want to start off this Drake. Right now, it seems they're trying to push in.
TP play coming in from Kaga. He's trying to get in the back line. He's going to find Relentless and Capstock. He sees the vision, and now that means Dovindir and Frost are all on their low. But there comes the ultimate. They snipe out Moosey, and Capstock gets that kill, and now the fight is going their way. Vijay with the Gnar into the wall. Flash over, trying to get away, but not quite. Aphelios able to get a kill back, and now it's a 4v3, but very low health bars. Influentic still has the Ember for that, but he's CC'd. Flash away, uses the Ember to buy massively, Van over to get Frost. Goes down as well. Auto's coming in for Shakur, able to snipe out Capstock, and that's going to be the Dragon secured for MRG, and they're going to see if they can chase down Relentless in the back.
Influentic, you absolute madman. Yes, the triple kill is picked up by Shakur, but it's the low health Influentic who jukes away from the Everfrost of Dovindir, who uses the Emperor's Divide to make space, and then who dives right back in despite his health bar, says, I bet, sets up his Aphelios for success.
He held that Emperor's Divide for so long, but he found the perfect moment to use it in that fight.
Absolutely did, and the gold starting to cascade a little towards MRG's favor, up to about 2k right now. They pick up the Drake, they can continue stacking it up. The Aphelios has got his second item well on his way to a third. As we see now, Shakur has hopscotched over Relentless. He was 2k down before, he's now 2k up.
Yeah, he is sitting very happy and very pretty right now. Meanwhile, topside as well, Kaga's got about a 700 gold lead, almost 1k gold lead, but still, Frost, he's been doing, honestly, I gotta give credit to Frost here. He's been doing a fantastic job this game trying to enable his team, just enabling Dovindir and the rest of the teams to fall for that CC, and Dovindir's just been a menace so far.
He has. He absolutely has. And that is one of those things. Like, he has been this primary driving force for Anima, even when he's playing not on carries. He can be the big setup. I mean, hell, he's doing very well for himself right now, doing plenty of damage. He could look to make those crucial plays happen.
Yeah, honestly, with the 3-2-7 scoreline, he's been a part of 10 out of the 13 kills. So is Dovindir, has been part of 8 out of 13. They've been doing so much for their team. But if they're not quite able to land that CC, it just kind of falls apart from them. We saw that happen in the last fight. Granted, it took Influentic playing like a madman, trying to dodge away all that CC, but once that was over, they had nothing going for them.
Right now, I have to point this out. Where is the vision for Anima? Their topside jungle is almost completely dark. Look what it looks like for MRG. The Baron pit is completely lit up.
They don't know what's going on, and that makes it harder if they want to go in. They're going to pop this Herald. They might get the mid. They're going to get the mid tower tier 1. Yep, MRG's going to prevent the second charge though. So
looking for flank angles. Capstock has the TP available. There's no wards for him to go to though.
Yeah, nothing at all. Baron is up. Dutch Dragon 2.5 minutes. This is going to be sole point if NRG can get it.
Yeah, they don't need to be too aggressive right now. They need to make sure that they are playing respectfully. Dovindir can clear out that ward. If they had a ward, if he used it right there, it could have been potentially nasty for Nord, but ends up doing okay. And I wonder if Anima, they have 5 people towards this top side. They could look to sneak a Baron, force MRG to play to their beat.
They have all that vision there. They've cleared it out. So now at least MRG knows they're all on this top side. And it looks like they're going to start moving their way. TP coming up from Influencer. I think they bet they're going for a steal. Kaga on his own, but he is Aatrox. He does have the World Ender pop. Jordan at least away. He's kind of back as far as possible. Allows team to get back in. Tries to go in. Misses the Q1. Q2 doesn't quite hit.
And here's the chase.
The catch out Relentless. Storm hits. Hook misses as well. They get onto the people they want, but Nord gets absolutely melted.
And you walk into a Syndra, you walk into a Xayah, and that is just going to happen to you, Shakur. Putting some damage into Frost. That's a dead jungler. That's a Baron.
Not decently low health targets. They could go back into this fight. Yes, they don't have the jungler. They can't go for the 50-50, but they can potentially go for the fight. Kaga's going TP, and he could easily TP back right into the fight.
Yeah, going mid.
So, now with the TP out, I think Anima's just going to say, yeah, no. But no, you walk straight into the death push. No, Kaga.
The healing, though.
Trying to get in, trying to stall as much as possible. Allow Shaka to get right back on top of him. Trying to fight it out as best he can. One more auto onto Cap would actually finish the kill. But no, Kaga. You walked right into the death bush.
And in his defense, there was no vision for MRG in the river at that time. And they're the one starting off the Baron?
They're going to pull out the TP in from Capstock and from Vinze as well.
They
but
need
now
to turn.
They need to run.
They
They
need
might
to
have put
turn.
themselves in a bad position. They have to get away. No, they're going to turn the fight. They're going to try to get out to Frost. They use the Emperor
Got
Divine
him.
to finish off the kill. Now Dovendir is still alive as well, running away. Capstock misses a stun. Vinze still does not have Meganar, and it's going to be MRG backing away. They get 2 TPs out from it though.
They get 2 TPs and Frost. That is value. That is turbo value on a bait Baron. They were not going to end up taking it. Now, with Frost dead for another 15 seconds, they can look to turn that across to a soul point.
Yep, soul point. Everybody in from MRG trying to make this way into the jungle. And look, Vinze's in top lane. I don't think they're going to go for it. He doesn't have TP as well, so they're just going to give away this dragon. They're going to concede it.
They kind of have to. Frost's only just come back up. Influentic drops the Sun Disc in the mid lane as well. So that pressure is something Anima have to respond to. Keep an eye on Dovendir, though. Could look for an angle onto Influentic.
He had flash up, but I don't, especially with that large minion wave, I don't think he wanted to quite go for it yet.
No.
Wow, what a game. This has been another bloody game for MRG. From
It's just the
yesterday's
order of
game
the
at
day.
42.
This is just how MRG do it.
Yeah.
Clean gameplay? Nah.
Nah. Bloody fights. They're going to come out battered and bruised at the end of it, but they're going to come out the victor nonetheless.
Do you remember yesterday, Rambo? Oh no, Shakur.
No.
Oh,
Shakur
the Spidey
barely gets
sense!
away. Now he's
He
able to
doesn't get it.
auto him to death. Dovendir is going to get torn apart.
What
Punished.
was that? What
I
was
don't
that?
know what he's going for.
They have
I think he wanted to go
Warhacks.
for a knockup, maybe?
No. Shakur just turns around. Karga's coming in though, looking for him.
Oh, look at that damage coming up from the air trucks. The Q1, Q2 hits, but he's going to get bursted down by Relentless. Those autos do so much damage. She's at the 2 items, Zaya. But
Guess
now
who
with
died,
4 members
though?
alive, 2 members died. Jungler is down. I think that's going to be MRG going for this Baron.
We've got to watch out though. Unleash power for Capstock is up. Featherstorm for Relentless is up. Vinze can, if he can get up to the Meganar, he can look to contest this one, but it is going down pretty quickly.
Up. It's going to just be a smite away, easy smite. MRG takes the Baron at 26 minutes with a 14 to 16 score kill count. It's more than a kill a minute.
And I need to see this again. I need to see what happened. Shakur, with the Spidey senses, detects the hook coming out, dodges it, dodges the Everfrost as well, sets up Dovendir for death, Frost falls as well. Look at this.
He senses something.
He sees
Oh
the
my
ward.
God.
He saw the ward.
He saw the ward.
Split-second decision-making from Shakur turns into a Baron, and this is why MRG play around this carry, because if you can enable him properly, he can gift you games. Look at him, 9-2-0, now 3k up over Relentless.
And Relentless, it's not like Relentless has been playing a
He's not
bad
doing
game.
badly.
Relentless was doing
Exactly.
really good, but Shakur, it's just monsters. Someone check his PC.
Oh no. Hi, Vinze.
Oh, yeah. Vinze's dead here. There's
got
no
a
way
flash.
he gets out. World Ender is going to pop.
gets the
Oh,
flash.
flashes over the wall, but Influentic is going to try to follow up, but he puts him in the waiting odds, but delivers. Frost rights the waitings on the Aatrox. Dovendir flashes over to follow up. They actually get the kill into Influentic. He went a bit too far forward, but Kaga now on his own. 4v1. Can he get a kill? Can he get something? But no. The Unleashed Power is able to do it, but that's 4 members in the middle of the river, and that's going to be the rest of MRG is able to break apart the base.
Can they get out, though? The rest of Anima is closing in. Relentless, Frost, Dovendir, all here. Capstock as well.
Oh,
Nord
Vinze's
going to
getting
delay.
melted! Vinze's dead! Vinze's dead! Shocker just able to delete him. And are they going to just push more to Baron? Are they going to play this game of chicken? No way. They know there's
Storm
none
there.
of the abilities. Miss the hook. Frost now in a lot of trouble. Now massive
Storm.
Mandatory out of 4 people. And Shakur is still alive trying to go in. No, is he going to stay up? Finally gets picked down in the end. The rest of the cleanup coming in for Relentless is Capstock. And I think MRG, they pushed the luck too far
Nord.
forward. And now they're getting punished for it. TP coming in from Influentic. It's not done yet. They're going to try to get more. Influentic kills Capstock. What is going on, Brackish?
MRG just listen to Andrew WK every morning, Rambo. You better get ready to die. You better get ready to kill. You better get ready to run. They are embodying that song right now, Rambo. They will swing at you, haymaker after haymaker after haymaker, until you fall over or they do.
Whew, okay, we are at 37 kills in a 28-minute game so far, as neither of these two teams want to give up. Nobody wants to play it slow. Nobody wants to play for objectives. They want to make this the most exciting game possible.
And we've got 35 seconds until the Drake comes up. Soul Point has already been secured for MRG. Ocean Soul is ready and waiting for them. I just want to point out, look who it is. Look who it is. Ocean Soul on those two champions?
You're not going to kill them. You won't be able to kill them if they get that Ocean Soul. Anima have to stop this. But right now, MRG, they've been doing a really good job getting this vision. And honestly, I'm not saying it's 8 seconds to the dragon. It's 8 seconds to the next bloodbath right now.
Yep, seems about right. Anima now looking to contest the mid wave. And that does mean Kaga and Influentic have started off the Drake. Might get caught out here, though.
Yeah, rest of the team is falling in. Nord comes in as well. They see Frost. They don't know where Dovendir. Dovendir tries to rush forward. It makes sure that Moosey and Shacker. Shacker is not in this fight. He's not on the river right now. They're very split up, as you said. They're trying to get on top of it. Nord hiding in the bush. Right now, Dragon's going to reset as Anima. All 5 members are here right now. Kaga trying to get a flank, but he's on vision. They know he's here. Now, where does Anima go? Who do they want to isolate? Who do they want to try to pick off? Nord is taking this Dragon aggro. Going to hop back over the wall to try to get away for now.
Anima should be able to burst this down.
They should be able to. And I think MRG, they can't get in.
They're
Those
very
reticent.
They're very scared to go in.
But now, there comes the Nature's Grass coming in, but now they're going to try to get in. Magnustorm gets down 2 and then knocks him up. Frost down. There goes 2, but straight right back over. Relentless has popped the Featherstorm, but it's Influencer gets the kill with the Emperor's Divide. Vinze and Capstock have to run away as 3 members are left from MRG.
Drake gets picked up by Anima, but they lose 3 members for it. MRG continuing the trend. They get the gold in the long run, and I imagine the comms are like, we don't care about getting a soul this game. If we can kill them, then it doesn't matter all that much. They're going to look to shove in the waves, keep Anima in the base. It's a minute until the next Baron's on the Rift.
Yep, minute away from the Baron, 4 minutes away from the Dragon, potentially another 8 minutes away from Elder. So we could, even though this is such a bloody game, we could be looking at a long haul bloody game, like solo queue level of game.
If Anima can hold on, then we absolutely could look to see this game go to
Shacker, you're playing with fire, my guy.
Gonna go in. Always does.
Plays under Moosey. Moosey gets caught out, but the stun quite isn't there. Moosey's able to get away. They used the stun earlier. Capstock get it, but here comes Vinze. He's the TP, commits in. There comes the heal, trying to run away as fast as can. He goes to campfire, stun lands on the Shacker. They delete Moosey, and now Shacker's on his own. But is he the one in trouble? Or are they the one in trouble? Hook, but doesn't miss. Kaga's now here as well, going to try to get back forward. Shacker's still alive. Finally dies down. Dominion's the next target here, but now comes Influence. Trying to help out Kaga to keep this fight going. Kaga still alive. This Aatrox so powerful, but he finally dies right now. Influx has to run, and I think MRG has been up more than they can chew as Influx gets hooked. Shut down going over. You did too far. You went a river too far. A bridge too far.
This is an MRG game through and through, Rambo. When you swing for the face, sometimes you get clamped yourself, and Anima will happily take the fight win, and there's plenty of time left before these MRG carries come onto the Rift. The gold lead shall be quashed as the Baron should be picked up for Anima.
And he committed 2 TPs to that fight as well. That means they can't come back in this Baron even if they do respawn.
I like the sense of brotherhood there perhaps, but I feel like Influentic should have just stayed well away from that fight.
Yeah, oh my gosh, they step forward, they just go too aggressive. Dovendir, he nearly dies to Baron himself, but what is this game, Bracket? What is this game?
It's an MRG game! Quite simply, if you look at like 90% of MRG's games this split, they devolve into bloodbaths where mechanics is all. Like, you can set up a good fight, but sometimes Shakur will just outplay it. It has happened more often than not this game, but as we just saw, Anima still more than able to find the angles, to find the fights that they want and need to try and claw themselves off the bottom spot.
2 minutes away, Nord just going over the wall, absolutely no fear once again. These guys play like they have nothing to lose, and they don't have anything to lose!
Yeah,
Okay.
if they win, they have a tiebreaker against Carolyn Erna. If they lose, they risk a tiebreaker for 4th. And that could, at worst case, put MRG down into 5th place. You do not want to be there, because that does not give you the safety net of that first round being able to go through the winner's bracket.
Yep. Oh, Moosey could be in a little trouble. Dovendir is looking for it. His hooks have been just on point. The combo CC Wombo combo coming in just to ensure that nobody can move on the side of MRG. This is a nasty cut from Anima.
It is. The first piece of CC lands, it is death forever it hits, unless maybe it's Nord.
Yep. The good news for the side of MRG is right now, Anima does not have the best siege in the world.
They don't.
And they're being able to at least clear it out and at least keep them back. So right now, they still have all their inhib turrets up. Right now, they still have the mid-tier 2 up as well. So honestly, yes, they're not losing a lot when it comes to these Barons, but still not a position they want to keep putting themselves in each and every single time.
And Shakur has secured for himself that Mercurial Scimitar, so is well aware that there's only so many things that Moosey will be able to cleanse off him, and sometimes relying on your own trigger finger is going to do the trick. 20 seconds until this next bloodbath occurs on the Rift at this next Ocean Drake. Could be Sulfur Emoji once again.
Influentic is about to have TP. Kaga still doesn't, but he's just back. He should be able to get into this fight before it starts. They're trying to get the vision, trying to see where everybody is right now. Vision is so crucial right now because if you don't pay attention to the bush, if somebody gets a flank, it could be game over. As MRG get onto this dragon first, they're melting. It is going down so quickly. They just need to get it. The smite, are they going to 50-50?
They do secure
no,
it.
Get the Ocean Soul, and now the fight is going to happen. A massive Emperor Divide gets down 3, but look at the fight. It's going
already
in
gone.
MRG's favor. They only have a few more members left. Anima, they need to run away. Frost is going to be the next one caught out. One more kill, triple kill coming in from Influence, and Capstock is the lone member from Anima. There's no way to keep this back. Flash forward coming in from Kaga. They don't care. They're going to get this kill, and a quadra kill from Influentic is what's going to close out this game potentially.
15 seconds on Dovendir, then 30 for Relentless. If MRG walk this lane, walk straight down this mid lane, then it should be a done deal. They will find themselves the win, find themselves that potential tiebreaker up against Carolyn Erna. Their fate is entirely still their own.
Yep. Now here comes Dovendir trying to get that damage in. We still got 8 seconds away from Relentless, but those towers are going down so quickly. 1 tower down, 2 towers about to go, and I think that's going to be the MRG game as they're going to hit this Nexus and they're going to fight for that 3rd seed and in the NLC Div 2 playoffs.
This is what it's like to be as an MRG caster. You're also sort of an MRG fan, right?
Yep.
To be an MRG fan is to understand what it is like to have a heart attack every single time they play. Because they occasionally have clean games, but most of the time, it's that chaotic brawl fest. There was a moment there where it looked like Anima had turned the corner. That last team fight, Shakur got deleted. That main primary carry in the Aphelios got annihilated. Thank goodness. Influencer can hit that 3rd item, lands the scoop onto everybody, and makes it happen to close out the game. MRG will end the split 11-7.
11-7 fighting for that 3rd seed. What a game. That was 53 kills in a 38-minute game. What was that? There was throws on both sides as blows were tossed around. What a game. And I think that's an amazing way to start closing out the official Div 2 broadcast. Because what a game that was. Honestly, props to... Honestly, I think if I had to give MVP for that game, I want to give it to Shakur because, we always give it to Shakur because but not this game.
He did
I think it was
damage.
Influentic. He
So
did damage,
this-
but I think it's Influentic.
You know what? This is kind of a repeat of yesterday. On the MRG broadcast, we had Shakur doing big damage, Influentic getting a damage dealer, though. It was Zerath yesterday. It was Influentic was the one that I think actually turned that corner so MRG could close the game. 2 days, 2 MVPs for Influentic, and it's really nice to see him coming into his own on these proactive damage dealers that can full on carry. We've seen him mostly be this Cassante enabler rather than a true blue carry that MRG can rely on.
I think that whole playbook that we had for MRG about Shakur being their win con is no longer the case. I think they're slowly getting themselves into, I believe what Coach Giga said, going into playoffs, they want to change their playbooks. They don't want to rely on it. So I think they're finally starting to bring that playbook out and showing their new selves. I think teams need to start watching out.
Yeah. I mean, there is a couple of weeks now between now and playoffs starting. So, of course, teams, they're going to want to, swat up a bit on the upcoming meta. I believe they will be playing on 13-15. So there is a little bit of evolution to come through. And yeah, teams are going to want to add to their repertoire that they can play. And if they can start playing around topside, around midside, MRG are going to be much, much harder to deal with across the map.
All right, folks. We are going to go into a short break. I don't know if we're going to have an interview afterwards. We are going to have an interview with Shakur after this, so don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back with the NLC official Div 2 broadcast. Be right back, folks. Welcome back, folks. The official NLC Div 2 broadcast. We have the wonderful MRG Shakur here with us for a brief little interview. Okay, we got to talk about that game. What was going on? What was the comms like throughout that entire game? Because that was just a mess from our end. I want to know what was going on your side. Yeah, don't play like today. I think that's the key word to learn from that. Today was definitely messy. So now that you're basically locked in for at least top 4, how is the team feeling? Especially when we look at, we got the tiebreaker, but you got playoffs coming in soon as well. How's the team feeling about that? How's the mindset going into it? All right. Well, all right. Well, thank you so much for being with us and congratulations on the win today and good luck tomorrow at the tiebreak.
Guess what?
What's up?
Neither my voice nor Chico's has been
Oh no.
Oof.
Do we have it fixed now or is it still
mine isn't, but we can record that.
okay? Well,
They're crying in the corner.
okay, so let's just do like a summary of what you said. So between, I think the biggest point is, what is your team's feeling? I know you said it before, but how is your team feeling going into tomorrow and for on the playoffs?
So in general, we are all feeling pretty excited and pretty confident that we can pull off winning the games and that we are a really strong team in the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah, you guys definitely have been showing well. You especially turned it around. You had a kind of shaky middle, but you really turned around, especially towards the back end. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing you. Definitely looking forward to seeing you tomorrow in the big game against Carolina. No, sorry. Is it
Yeah,
Carolina?
Yeah.
Carolina. Yeah, sorry. Mixing my teams up right now. But thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
I hate my
Okay,
life,
then.
man.
It's okay. It's okay. We know that
Is
you're going
it?
through a lot.
Is it,
No,
Rambo?
okay. No, but you are doing both production and casting. It is
It's
not
not
easy
normally
to
this
do that.
difficult.
It's perfectly fine, my guy. Well, but that does it about us for us. We got one last game today. We got 42 versus
Lions Creed.
Lions Creed. I literally was saying that earlier before we got in. Anyways, 42 versus Lions Creed. We got the wonderful VXLT and Zathos bringing you the cast right after this. But I think that about does it for us here. Brackish, you got any final words?
No, just know that I'm like gonna be crying to myself as I produce Game 3.
You're doing your best. Well, I've been Ramboing, and I'm joined by the ever lovely Brackish Brit, and we will see you next time. Bye, folks.
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be back on the NLC as always. And it may be the last game. They may not have too high of stakes, but there are still a couple. Because remember, top six get themselves into the playoff spots. Now, Lions Creed, they are already secured in there being 8-8 in the regular split so far. However, Blue Whites as well have got 8 wins, but actually lost 9 in the regular split. So if Lions Creed are able to pick up the win today against 42 Gaming, they will 100% secure that 5th place and don't have to do the tiebreaker. Now on the opposite side for 42 Gamer, they are completely out of contention for getting themselves into the top 6. However, there is still a chance for them to secure that 7th place instead of 8th if they win here today.
I mean, that's gonna be something interesting. And already seeing Panda being focused on the bans, the Viego's out of the picture, and so is the Maokai. You've seen Maokai last game was pretty good with that Blitzcrank, but well, with that synergy of the extra CC, things might be a bit different. But for now, just seeing a lot of bans, as he said, 42 Gaming don't really have a chip on their shoulders anymore, so maybe we will see their best game actually.
And that's the thing, because they don't really have too much to play for, they could just go absolutely wild in this game, try a few things, have a bit of fun with it, while on the opposite side for Lions Creed, they want to try and secure this 5th place. And that's why I'm expecting more of a simple draft coming out from them, and this is really shown with their bans of banning out the Maokai, banning out the Jace, some of these heavily contested early game picks. AD carry pool is still fully open though. It'll be interesting if anyone wants to ban Kaiser away or leave it open.
Yeah, I mean, we're still on 13-14. So Kaisa is pretty much still the meta ADC. But another pick that we've seen the last game and we're not going to see here is going to be that Rel. And here's the Kaisa that you're talking about. And now, since there's no Kaisa, no Jace, doesn't leave a lot of options. It looks like 42 Gaming might be going for a safe one. Poppy isn't really a meta pick. Doesn't offer you a lot. It is flexible. So at least there's that. But I don't know if it's the best pick given like what you had. You had Tristana here that is being picked, and you have a Karthus that's being insta-locked here by Panda.
Confidence coming out from Panda, locking in that Carthage. This can get flexed towards the bot side if they really want to. But I want to talk more about this Poppy, because Poppy's a pick which you really play to counter the enemy team. Whenever they have hard engage, a lot of dashes around the place, is able to stop that with the steadfast presence and give her backline defensive tools. But now that Lions Creek know about this, they just don't pick champions like that. So it'd be interesting to see what 42 Gaming, if they really think this champion is just too overpowered to pick first.
I don't know about that. The Crocodile is definitely good enough to pick blind. I like that Poppy, so at least there's some safety you have there. But you will still have to give away one of your cards. Cinder has a card that is also pretty safe. So 42 Gaming, not really giving a lot of counter picks for Lions Creed, not giving them the options to having something that is strong. But that Malphite is signaling that they're expecting a front to back comp from 42 Gaming. And honestly, I see it that way too. Like I see the Poppy, I see the Renekton, I see the Syndra. I'm expecting a front to back, and there comes the pinch for ADCs. Zaya's gonna be one. Maybe you're expecting even a Varus ban next.
Yeah, and one thing I'm thinking about is Lions Creed Team Corp want to try and burst out the main carries, especially with Malphite that does have the big ultimate to really be able to stun up anyone he wants. And Poppy may have a way to stop a lot of dashes, but he is unstoppable, so there's no way you can do anything else against that. Then with a Karthus ult on top of that, Lions Creed have some incredible dive. So we're going to have to see what 42 Gaming want to do up against this. Braum is still a support option that is up and available to try and help that. But mostly what I'm thinking about is 42, they don't have that main carry. I know Kog'Maw's been a little bit more in the meta, so maybe they could be going for that.
And it's a lot of options still, the Varus. I believe that there are also still few good champions, but with that Silas ban, it signals that Lions Creek could actually want the R4 to be another high value ultimate. And that could come in the jungle, could come in the support. Both roles are still open. For the side of 42 Gaming, as he said, I'm still waiting for that one final ban to their AD carry, because these are going to be two things they will have to worry about. But for now, at least we're seeing some of a picture. The Braum now is out, and I'm seeing Syndra with a pick potential. I'm seeing Renekton that could be a champion that he dive top towards. But how do you shave the bot lane with you having these two picks?
Well, shading the bot lane, a lot of the meta picks are off the map. So Varus, like you said before, is a very strong option. Ashe as well, something we haven't really talked too much about. Twitch, I'm not really the biggest fan of. I would most prefer this Ashe because it does give you that crystal hour to try and find these picks in the mid to late game. And that's exactly what Lions Creed are doing because they have a great all-in potential. Now the crystal arrow, it's got even stronger.
Yeah, I know. You're talking about team fights. Now they also have the pick. So a lot of great potential, but that means that this Tristana might actually be flexed towards the mid lane. And this makes things pretty awkward for the side of 4-2 gaming. I don't know if this Ashe is going to be support or ADC. It should be ADC, but then you also could have a Tristana Ashe, considering that you don't really have a very strong CC layer, especially if you're taking that champion towards the jungle. Aphelios and Leona, though, that's CC in spades, and suddenly you need to pick something that is very safe to keep your ADC alive.
Completely agree with you there. Maybe instead of the Leona, Alistar will give you a little bit more tankiness, allow you to find that engage, and have the QSS from his big ultimate, mean that he can just survive so long in this back line. And having the damage as well from Syndra and Aphelios, they should be able to be quite strong in these late game fights. I thought Lions Creed was doing well, but 42 Gamer with their team comp is fighting back.
Yeah, it is a pretty easy comp in my eyes. Like, we've just seen that from MRJU. Keep your ADC alive. This time, the Essential Core is fruity fresh, but you keep that Aphelios alive. You allow that Aphelios to scale, and then you have a mid laner that will provide you damage from that mid to late transition. And then you have two powerhouses with Poppy to peel, with Renekton to be a meat shield, and Alistar to both disengage, engage, be flexible. And speaking of flexibility, what is a better get out of jail free card than the Lantern? Well, there it comes. Zulko is gonna pick that Thresh, and with these two comps already in our faces, like, how do you feel about them, especially Lions Creed? Because we said they had the better luck with their picks early on, but I don't feel like it right now.
So for Lions Creed, they do have more damage than 42, but their front line, all they have is a Malphite and an off-tank of Thresh, compared to the opposite side of having a full tank Alistar, Poppy, and a Renekton to be the bruiser and damage as well. I feel like 42's gamers comp is really living up to expectations. The way that Lions Creed are able to win this game is by getting probably playing through this mid lane, because they will have push pressure consistently through this Tristana. She's able to constantly push out, try and look for these roams and find these picks with the crystal arrows, because if Tristana is able to roam down, they're able to find the CC chain. Lions Creed could slowly snowball their lead compared to 42 Gamer that don't have as easy engage tools, because all they have is Alistar maybe trying to go in with his headbutt pulverize, but they need to be in range, and the way that Lions Creed really want to keep you as far away as possible.
I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that maybe it will be the Aphelios that will actually try to have that first layer of CC. Because as you said, Poppy isn't really like a team fight starter. Then all you have is your QE combo from the Syndra. You might have the Aphelios with a good ultimate there that like not stuns or roots 3 or 4 people. And then you have the Alistar. So not the best tools to engage a team fights, but definitely tools that are good enough to stop that Malphite Karsus Tristana Ashe combo like from actually causing havoc in the top side of the map. Because from the bottom side, I'm not really expecting a lot from Ashe Thresh into Aphelios Alistar. Should be a pretty safe bot lane. So that top side of the map is where I'm expecting most of the action to lie.
I completely agree with you there. Now, Ashe and Thresh will have priority in this early game, just because of 2 rage against Alistar. There's not really much you can do, as we have finally got ourselves into game.
Yeah, well, here we go. Final game for the NLC 2023 Div 2 Summer Split will be upon us as we are ready to embark our final journey. Lions Creed will square off against 42 Gaming. As I said, stakes are still on for LC in this game. So they need to get it going. And we're speaking a lot about the comps. Panda there on the Karthus is one of the champions that could be vulnerable to early game aggression.
Borden, with something like this Poppy, they can just give up a ton of these camps to try and look for some plays onto the enemy jungle, and they will win that 1v1 as there is a small play coming out from Lions Creed. Caps might be in danger.
Oh, Caps doesn't spot them until too late. Zuko's there. He might have the hook. At least the play is going to be there, forcing a flash, and that's an early summoner. Hex Flash is present for Caps. Still, that's your like engage or disengage tool in the early game being taken off, and that's just sweetening the deal for the bot lane of Lions Creed.
More importantly, if there's any missteps from Cabs before this level 3 mark, he will just instantly get taken out because of the slows coming out from Ashe. Flash usually helps you alleviate the pressure, but now he doesn't have it. It's going to be a very hard bot lane for this Aphelios to try and get through.
Yeah, well, Aphelios does have the cleanse to maybe try to cleanse themselves out of a hook, but as he said, very thin line there. Little to no margin for error for the 2 bot laners from the blue team of 42 Gaming. Usually logo in red this time, starting on the blue side already. The lane is starting. And I'm just looking for Emil and Panda. Like these two champions, the Tristana and Karthus. If they get ahead, it's gonna be an excellent time for Lions Creed. If they don't, this game might just go and get doomed for them pretty quick. They will be spotted in the bot side, so they know that Thornton is starting red. And it's already action coming in. Panda, not the healthiest in the clear, and Thornton is gonna hit the Q, he's gonna hit the E, and he's gonna get the first blood within 1 minute and 58 seconds. 42 Gaming, strike first.
Even takes the Grump away, Thornton playing out of his mind because he knows Karthus is just so squishy in this early game. So smartly does a one camp clear, goes straight to the blue side, kills him off, and now is taking his top side and may even look for a Hextech flash over the wall and looking for bot.
Yeah, well, there they go. They're still trying to find something. Zuko's in a bit of a harm's way. That hook will be cleansed. That means that Zipki will find a kill, but now you're still in a firing line. Auto attacks are firing back and forth with Ash with a superior range, hurting Caps. That's an excellent play. They're trying to trade the kills, and they will, but the problem is now Ash could have been in harms, but no. It will not be, and the fighting still continues. Emil getting some good damage, but at the end of the day, it's 2 kills for Ash and 1 for Alistar. So the better end of the trade is Lions Creed. Speaking of trading, look at Panda. Oh no.
Just consistently looking for this. You don't want to be here if you're Panda.
Oh well. Kurosh is in position to help. The damage from Panda is going to be pretty good, but he needs to land these lay waste. And he's laying themselves to waste here. Running in, dash through the wall, scattered, and killed for a second time. At least there's a trade this time from Emil. But Emil, only a consolation kill. Panda is out of this game.
Remember, teleport is up and available for Kuro, so it isn't as bad as you think from the side of 42 Gaming. And most importantly, Panda not being able to farm up really anything in this early game because he is strong around this level 6 mark when he can start using the big ultimate all around the map. But it's going to take so long for him to get online. It gives a big opportunity from the side of 42 to push their lead on this Poppy, look for more ganks, look for more plays, and start getting themselves more ahead.
Oh, speaking of which, there comes Cavs. Oh no, Emil, that's the worst time possible. Kurosh is gonna have a bit of damage onto them, but now they're dashing back. But Panda isn't much of safety. Panda's being pushed. Thornton is trying to find that kill. No scattering anyone, no stunning anyone. But Emil's out of mana, out of jumps, out of flashes. Will be able to walk away, and Panda, look at him, just waddling away through the mid lane. At least Zuko has moved, and that's gonna be a good lantern. We're talking about that safety. It will be land to Panda. That could have been disastrous. Luckily enough, though, Lions Creed survives.
An absolute bloodbath this game. This is an enjoyable way to finish off the season for both of these teams, as even in the top lane, Tank versus Bruiser, they are going at it as much as possible. But to be honest, this has all been a Thovin around Thornton, going for that level 1 play on Panda, killing him. Panda trying to get something back, but because he was going to the enemy jungle without his team support, dies again for that. But overall, his team is able to come back from it, and the lead that Ash does have means that it is even overall.
Well, let's see what can... Zuko's just slowing things down.
As Zuko is slowing things down, you are expecting this to be happening, mostly because in this bot lane, you want to just try and push this out, do 2 waves at a time, get them on the tower, and then start poking out this Alistar, because he's only as strong as he is when he first engages. They're looking for bot lane.
Oh, they're looking for it, but the hook misses. Zuko ignites it though. Cavs is in pretty big of harm here. A Fruity Fresh walking around, lay waste after lay waste, but the damage is not enough to find a kill. And we were speaking about Panda. Panda's still level 4. Karthus is supposed to be the fastest clearing jungler in the game, only on par with Thornton. You gotta give praise there to the side of 42 Gaming for slowing down that Karthus, but he will eventually reach to the point where he can use the Requiem. And with how bloodthirsty this game is, it might be too big of a problem for 42 Gaming.
And we talked about who really needs to lead on the side of, not 42 Gaming, Lions Creed, as there is another fight, Emil.
Oh, Thornton. Pretty low, but Zivix is still there. Thornton will be able to walk out. This game is pretty close.
Yeah, but to quickly finish off the point I was saying, was Ash already got a double kill, and on top of that, Panda has been able not to just keep up, but out-farm Thornton in this early game, being able to just slowly rack up farm after farm after farm. And if these two champions start slowly getting themselves gold leads longer and longer through this game, this is exactly what Lions Creed need, because those two are the main carries for them.
Well, speaking of things that people might need pretty soon, is that Ocean Dragon. that has been alive for a couple of minutes now. But neither of these two junglers have really made the move towards it just yet.
Yeah,
Still
QX does
waiting.
have teleports if they want to go for this. They will have an advantage, but Rhythm doing super well in this top lane, able just to push it out, even can get a few tower plates, at least
Level
one
6
in
at
this
level
early
6. This might be worrying, but no. Rhythm respect the push, respect the fact that he could be ulted under tower. We'll just have a bit of a trade, but I'm still looking at the rest of the map. Panda. I want to look at Panda. I want to know how close he is to level 6. He's just one more camp away. And then we can start playing the game. We can start saying, yeah, there's a global threat and things might be problematic. And 42 Gaming needs to be aware of this, and they need to make sure that when they take a trade, they know it will not be close between the two sides.
Yeah, and one benefit is with a mill in this mid lane, being able to burst people out just so quickly, having that little bit of extra damage Panda can deal with his ultimate may actually get them a few kills, as Panda is consistently looking for this bot side. Seeing if 42 Gaming ever want to go for an engage, as Poppy's here as well.
Oh, it's a good damage though. Pretty fresh is out of the fight, but Zuko's too deep in. Zuko might be in harm's way. There comes the visual, but the Moonlight will just be a cascade as Fruity Fresh will go down. Panda's trying to find the last kill. Emil's there, trying to do damage as well as all of Lion's Creed aggressing on this side of the map.
42 not being able to find the engagement to Zuko, not able to push him up against this wall. I mean, in two plays, will get taken out, and Lion's Creed may be hunted for more. As we keep going on, my apologies for that. Just a few technical issues in the background. I was literally just sitting there being like, guys, is everything okay? As a great flash comes out from Rhythm, does mean that he won't get taken out under this tower. But most importantly, the flash is going to be down. So next time they want to go for a fight in this top lane, it will be going their way. But overall, it's going great from the side of Lion's Creed. They are consistently winning these fights in the bot side. And this really comes down to the double kill that happened in this early game. So Spike was able to get himself that double kill. Now 3-0. However, because they did need to reset, gives a small time in for 42 to look for this Drake. Remember, on top of this, Justana can move. The mid laner is not here, so it will be a 4 versus 3. They need to finish this fast. They need to get out, but no flash up. But a great ultimate from Thornton makes it another 3v3.
Oh, wait, they're going for it. That fight is going to be huge. Zuko's still in harm's way. Requiem coming in. Thornton is no longer. Caps shall follow up, taking that damage, but the trade is coming in. That's a great crystal arrow. Emil will finalize that kill. It's all Fruity Fresh, but the problem is the fruit is eaten. And it's heaven for the side of Lion's Creed as they find that victory, but they also, not just that, they find the dragon.
They are able to pick up that dragon for themselves, and it was just a little bit too greedy coming out from 42. Thinking that they could sneak it under the noses of Lion's Creed, not realizing how close they were. And this game went from bad to worse from this game, as we are going to be getting a replay to show you exactly what happens. Because take a look. Emil is able to move first. Syndra, nowhere near. Able to get a good ultimate out, meaning it is a 3v3. Great flash forward from Panda, gets him in. Now it's looking good from the side of 42. However, a big ultimate is coming out. And Spike, with those 3 kills, just being able to just pump out this damage. And Emil coming back, able just to clean this up, making an easy 3 for 2.
Absolutely, and that's the weakness of Ashe. Speaking of weaknesses, it's not a good time here for Zuix. Wrong side of the map. Do not have an unstoppable force, and the force will be following Zuix. It's a jump over the wall. He misses the Q, but it will not be for long. Should be not for long, and there we go. Thornton gets that kill, and now we're back into the game. 6-9 is the score, and that's a pretty nice game for Lion's Creed.
I was about to say, nice. As a Korosh, when attacked, is able to get himself out. 42 are able to look for the rift out here if they want to, but because of the great engage coming up from Emil to burst him out, they are able just to fault this a little bit, as Carter's around this bot side is just consistently hunted for this bot lane. Crystal out is going to be up very shortly, but you can just see the farm differential already coming up as it is around that 30 CS lead.
Yeah, and you've got to give it to Panda. Panda was absolutely hammered early on. It wasn't easy to play the Karthus against that Poppy when she's diving you 24/7. Now, they're the team that are staging it live, and they know it, and you can tell. Look at the rest of 42 Gaming. They're getting that Herald on the top side, 4 plates, 4 Rhythm on the top side as well. So, sure, you might be getting that Herald, but most of what the Herald will do is just equalizing the gold lead that you're losing.
And to be honest, you should probably equalize towards this bottom side. So Felios needs to be your main damage source in this late game. But looking in the mid lane.
Oh, Scaradwig is there. Unleash Force as well. But they're waiting for it. Emil will actually get out. No, he will be stopped. It's a shutdown for the Poppy.
Great steadfast.
I don't know what's going on there. Oh, speaking of things that are great, that's a great play. That's a great arrow. But there comes a cleanse after cleanse. Caps and Fruity in spades. Both of them are out of that fight. Fruity will be healed by the Severum. And he will sever themselves away from that fight. That could have been risky.
42
Well, it went well.
Coming with a perfect play, and I don't think this is able to kill Leandri's procs.
Oh.
Healing is up.
19.
Yeah, it's fine from that. But no, great play coming out for 42 to keep themselves alive. And because they were able to stop that play in the bot side, able to get 2 plates into this mid lane, allow Courage to have a little bit more damage, especially when he has completed that first item. This is when you start looking for him to try and burst out one of these squishy carries of the Tristana or the Ashe in these team fights.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we were talking about that earlier on in the draft, where we said, you know, that you have an Ashe, you have a Tristana, they're supposed to be pretty vulnerable. But the only way to catch them is to grab them ultimate from Fury Fresh.
The bot sides.
Yeah, or, you know, you just do that. Rhythm is on the bot side. I don't think the spike is long for this world. He will flash, but the meek will be called Zuko. That's a great lantern. Thornton is still chasing though, but Emil is pretty close. And they will remain alive. And, you know, you can say that's a TP wasted, but they got the flash out of spike.
Yeah, great defense coming out from Zuko, realizing that his AD carry was in danger to the teleport. Made sure to stop his back, make sure to get him lanterned out. Love the support play coming out from him. And something else that's important coming up is going to be the next 50 seconds as the second Drake will be coming out. We're not 100% sure what Drake because of League of Legends client doing a thing, but as we see, it is going to be that Hextech Soul. But Cabs looking for this mid lane. They're able to find a pick, no TP up on a mill, and they will be able to secure it. But because of Mill being smart and intelligent, realizing that he doesn't need to try and contest this wave straight away, allows him to be safe. And now I don't really think there's a way for 42 to be contested this next Drake.
I'm looking at the ultimates though, and I'm thinking, you know, there will not be a Requiem in that fight. Unstoppable Force will be present, and Silix should have their TP, and it should be unleashed. So maybe that's something to play for. No more plays though. And it should be no more top T1.
Yeah, seems to agree with us, thinking that they should just completely sack this Drake as a great hook does land. Rhythm does need to be careful because Spike does have so many slows, but not 9 who's behind him does mean that they are able to get off him, get themselves a Drake as well, as it's going to be the second Drake for Lions Creed.
Yeah, I don't know about this one from 42 Gaming, because in my eyes, you're playing against the scaling comp. They have a Karthus, they have 2 AD carries, and this Tristana is 100% going to outrange your Aphelios as time goes on. So I'm thinking, like, why are you giving them 2 dragons? Why are you even giving them a Cloud Soul as an objective to play towards? Because it might be one of the most deceptive souls in its value, but when I'm looking at Ashe and I'm looking at Tristana, that movement speed is gonna be a breeze when they're kiting through these team fights.
You are completely correct about that. However, it just didn't really feel like a fight they could win. Aphelios didn't even have first item. No real proper kills on Kuros, meaning he doesn't have the damage compared to Emil until he does hit that 2 item spike. So it was smart for them to give this up, get a little bit more gold into the top, into the AD carry's pocket. Now finally finished the first item, got the Storm Razor, getting close to finishing that call. And when they start getting those 2 items, that's when 42's comp really gets online and they can start fighting for these objectives.
Well, that puts them in a bit of a weird place here, that those where I'm thinking, like, okay, so they'll be fighting around 2 items, but I'm looking at the red side, I'm thinking 3 items, it should be game over for 42 Gaming. They don't have a clear-cut engage, and they should be outscaled outside of like a hero play from Kurosh or Thornton.
And that is the big issue with the team comp, because it was all about finding these early game leads, especially when you have a Renekton in the top side that wants to try and play aggressive, gets countered by the Malphite, who is going to be strong in these later game team fights, and most importantly, this jungler of the Poppy isn't going to be stronger the later this game goes compared to Panda, and it just doesn't feel like it's been able to get the lead it needs to. So they need to do something soon, otherwise Lions Creed are going to be running away with this game.
Yeah, well, for now, the game isn't going anywhere. Should be 3 minutes of peace and prosperity for the 2 sides. Rhythm, popping a Dominus, it could be pretty dangerous, but it will not be. Malphite with a Bramble and Frozen Heart, pretty hard task, especially for an AD player.
I was going to say it kind of doesn't make sense to ult there because of you prefer to have it up for objectives, but the next major objective isn't up for 3 minutes and Rhythm will have his ultimate back up, so I can't really be too mad at him for there. The only last outer tower to be standing is going to be this bot side that 42 needs to grab up, and the top side as well for Lion's Creed. So I'm expecting them to try and cross-map each other, trying to look for a little bit more gold into each other's pockets. As one item I think is quite interesting is the Frozen Heart being the first item completed for this Malphite, thinking that the main damage source will be Fruity Fresh, meaning that he's going to be dealing a whole lot less amount of damage in these team fights.
They're not really wrong in that aspect, because a lot of the gold is actually in the pockets of Thornton, and Thornton relies on the other team having a lot of health to do a lot of damage. It isn't really like base damage or DPS from that Poppy. So you're relying on Fruity Fresh and Kurosh to actually do something here, and Kurosh isn't having that good of a game. You know, 0-2 and 3, sure, he has been showing up on the participation list, but he hasn't been having the best game. Speaking of good, that's a good cleanse from Fruity Fresh. Instant, and if he didn't do that, that hook from Zuko could have been the death of him. Speaking of the death of things, second Herald is up, and with that cleanse, they're not fighting that one either.
Yeah, Poppy is on the opposite sides. They weren't even trying to think of this before. They said they will try and push out this mid lane, try and get the mid lane tower instead of it. However, Lion's Creed is just able to burst this out so quickly. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to take this.
Oh, but they're trying to go for it. Fruity Fresh, no cleanse this time. This time it will be the flash.
And
Mid turret will not go down.
And this is so bad from the side of 42. Mostly because of no flash, no cleanse available for Fruity Fresh in this next fight. Sole point is going to be for Lion's Creed. They're able to pick it up. So they're in a great position. So the main carry has no real escapes against Curious.
Speaking of no escape, Zuik's only escape is going to be that unstoppable force. But the problem is, no force on the side of 42 Gaming is strong enough to push that Malphite away. Speaking of pushing things, he will be pushed up here, Fruity Fresh, and he will be brought back to the fountain, an instant kill. And that's the great thing about having an easy engage button. All you need to do is press that button, and already you've won the team fight.
42 Gaming just not respecting the amount of power that Lion's Creed have, the amount of instant snap engage they do have. Remember, Drake's up in the next 30 seconds. Fruity Fresh will be nearby. Crystal Arrow used.
Look, still lands. That's going to be a Requiem. It will not be interrupted, but they will be thrown out. Cap's taking a lot of damage there. And with 20 seconds left for the Dragon, make it 15 now. They're in a pretty tough position to contest, and they need to. It's going to be a sole point for Lion's Creed here.
A lot of ultimates got expended in that last fight. Only Rhythm and Curious have their ultimates up and available compared to the Buckshot onto a mill. So all major ultimates are down. There is a possibility for 42 to contest this.
Starting the dance, and we're speaking about Kurosh. We need to see a scatter the week onto one of these primary carries, onto the Tristana, onto the Ashe, because they've been raining with free auto after free auto. Starting that objective, and with 280 carries and Carthage, it should be gone within a blink of an eye. Jordan, though, making their movement. They're waiting for their team fight. They're waiting for their engage. Zuko will not land that hook. It should be coming to this. It's a clean smite there from Panda, and Panda will also be lanterned out, staying alive despite that unleashed power. And well, that was pretty close, but they didn't commit to a fight there for 42 Gaming, despite, as he said, most of the ultimates being down.
42 Gaming, thinking they could just sneak it away, believing in Thornton having the smite. However, one level up is going to be Panda, so did have a little bit more damage, able to sneak that away. And now when we start looking at the item, this really shows the differentials between both of these teams. And this is all because of them having two items, having Panda and Mill and Spike, getting those two item spikes compared to the opposite side of Thornton, Curious and Fruity Fresh, who haven't got their second.
I don't know what to say. The fourth Dragon there on the boards for the other side right now. Cavs isn't having a good time either. 2 items completed for both the Tristana and the Ashe. The call is completed for the Aphelios, but without the amount of gold in these 4 or 3 kills between Spike and Emil, they're gonna be pretty far away. And speaking of gold, thank you there, Brax. And you can tell, just look at the gold. Sure, like Thornton is pretty close to Panda, but everyone else is pretty far away. It's half an item between any member of 42 and any members of Lion's Creed.
Yeah, Lions Creed, and a massive differential is in the AD carry position if there is over 1,000 gold. And talking about differential, Baron has been started up at 21 minutes 42. Thornton
just
is behind
flash?
him. No, he X-Tech flashed over the wall.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, that was an actual flash. You are correct. Thornton flashed over that wall thinking that he could get behind it to look for his smite, but Lions Creed just said, okay, we'll take your flash, we'll just stay away and we'll start Baron after you reset. And this is exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, cheeky there from Lions Creed. Excellent play. TP as well is coming out as Zuix. He doesn't even need to stay with their Renekton no longer. And look at the Baron melting. 22 minutes and 2 seconds will be the time that they need to get their first major objective here. The arrow's pretty close, but Kurosh will be aware of the antics. Problem is, though, is he ready for the collapse that is coming in?
Now, thinking about it only being 22 minutes in the game and them already losing the Baron, the gold lead isn't that significant just yet. So it is only around about that 3 to 4k mark. They will be able to pick up a tower in the mid lane as well, get Aphelios a little bit more damage. But 42 gaming, it just feels like they never really wanted to take these fights as Thornton is looking topside.
Yeah, Thornton needs to ult there. Emil, though, he's running in. He has the Buster Shot. It's one auto attack away. It's a rocket jump in, and he will find Kurosh this time around, trying to trade for the other AD carry. But who's going to get the gold? It's probably going to be the Poppy. It's a god of gold there to be injected into Thornton. It's a lot of damage to be onto Fruity Fresh, down to 150 points of health. Panda's pretty close. Panda's taking a lot of damage, though. That Lantern is perfect, and Panda will lay Fruity Fresh to waste. And they're coming in. Emil is still finding damage. Thornton will find one more kill, but a Poppy cannot save you for this long. Cabs next on the chopping block will be slowed. It doesn't matter if you have that extra movement speed. It doesn't matter if you waste some time. You will still go down. 1 minute and 30 until that Cloud Soul. And it should be the last soul before 42 Gaming.
And that's going to be a 4-for-1 on the side for Lions Creed Gaming, getting themselves a bigger lead than I was expected to say. Because 42 Gaming finally understood, we need to fight, we need to try something before this ever goes up. But a great flash coming out from Emil gets the kill onto Kuros, and from there it's just not enough damage because all they have left is Fruity Fresh. He gets taken out almost instantly as well, and like I said before, not enough damage. So 42 do lose all members except for Thornton.
I mean, can we just take another look at the gold after that fight? Because this is the worrying part, by the way. Look at who's having the lion's share of the gold. It's Thornton. On the other side, you got 5-digit gold from Panda, 5-digit gold from Emil. Spike is 200 gold away at this point. So I'm looking at the Syndra, I'm looking at the Aphelios, and I'm thinking, it's not enough. 30 seconds for the Cloud Dragon. But they don't have enough gold, they don't have enough items, and I don't think that they're gonna win this fight unless they find a clear-cut engage, something that they weren't able to succeed 25 minutes for right now.
Well, they have 25 seconds to get prepared before there is going to be a Cloud Toss. They are looking for Emil. No flash for Thornton. Great buckshot does mean that the engage isn't there. So we're going to have to see if 42 Gamer can do anything. They need to kill Spike or Emil in the fight before it even starts to have any opportunity to get this. But it just feels like they aren't even trying to contest this. Instead, trying to push out this mid lane. Trying to farm up as much as possible and allow Rhythm to get another tower plate to his name.
Oh, tier 2 tower with an objective bounty on it as well. But it is just a gift away. That Cloud Soul. I guess you can say that, you know, Cloud doesn't have any inherent combat power because it's just movement speed, and that is something that you might be willing to give away, especially considering that Rhythm is getting that tower. Bottom tier 2 might be next on the chopping block. But you're really out of options right now. It's a do or die situation. The next objective, you will have to fight for it. Second Baron, Elder, both of these are game-ending win conditions for the side of Lions Creed.
So, do you remember we had this discussion of 2 items, there's a chance 42 Gaming to fight. And we said, when Lions Creed get to 3 items, 42 Gaming can't fight. Bit of an issue. 2 items have been complete for both carries on the side of 42. But if we take a look at Lions Creed, they are so close to hitting those 3 items that their window for this is so small. And another thing we haven't really talked about is XP lead, as every laner on the side of Lions Creed, except for top lane, have got themselves an XP advantage, and that's even more stats on the side of Lions Creed.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. I think if you sum around like 6 or 7 levels, especially at that point of the game, might be a couple thousand gold, but that might be given back as Emil. He will be one-shot, power will be unleashed. That's a big kill for Kurosh. We're talking about the gold, but here comes the golden engage. That's the perfect picture one. And Cavs are just trying to dissuade them from the fighting. Renekton is getting that bottom tier 2 on the other side, but the Requiem is gonna be too harsh. Locket is gonna be good, but look at Kurosh, look at the health bar. Oh my god, it's too close, but Kurosh stays alive. So it's another bounty there, but it will be traded bottom for top. Rhythm is still going on. No objectives on the map just yet, so it's a good trade for 42 Gaming at the end of the day.
They have another minute until Baron will be up, so Lions Creed don't have really much to fight for, just allowing Rhythm to go for the side lanes. And that's the reason they weren't able to find that fight, because 42 tried to go for 4 versus 5, make sure they weren't able to push it out, stop the engage, and they're like, we don't need to fight anymore. Allow Rhythm to get the side lane pressure that he has been doing, because if we look at the side lanes, there are no outer towers, only the inhibitors towers left for the side of Lions Creed. So great job coming out from Rhythm. If they keep playing the game like this, there is an opportunity for them to win that way. And we can really just see that by the Hull Breaker here. Just showing that he wants to play for these side lanes, never play for these team fights.
Yeah, it does make a fair bit of sense. If you're Tristana, if you're an Ashe, you're not wandering alone. You're not going to be matching that split push. So it will have to be Zewix. And with that Hull Breaker, Zewix isn't really going to do a whole lot of damage to either the cannon minions, the minions that are buffed, or Rhythm in that stance. So Baron, it will be 12 seconds as it goes up, and with the Cloud Soul, this might be the final team fight. Rhythm still there, TP is still available for the top laner of 42 Gaming, but 42 Gaming, you know, they might have a big number in their logo, but they don't have a lot of options on the Rift.
And talking about big numbers, Panda has reached the level 16 mark, meaning that his Requiem is going to be dealing so much damage. Before it wasn't killing, trust me now, when he starts hearing that, he will start dying.
Oh, speaking of killing, pretty fresh. That's gonna be a big vlog there by Thornton, but Thornton is melting. Spike is a monster in that one. Chakrams aren't enough. It's not enough for a kill. It will be a clean 1 for 0, and Thornton is pretty low. This might be game over. They're gonna get the Baron. I don't think that Rhythm even have what it takes to find anything more than just that inhibitor. And with the timer being so long, it's gonna be problematic. And speaking of, well, not even the inhibitor, here comes Emil. Rhythm is just par for the course. Meat on the table for the Lions. Oh, problematic for Kurosh, but Thornton is here. Thornton is trying to find it. That was close. The 50-50 yet again. Won by Panda. Emil now, not even a 50. It's a none, because none of 42 Gaming will be alive. Thornton might struggle. Thornton might find a chance to escape, but Emil have carried this team fight.
Thornton does have a 250 gold bounty. He does not want to give this up, and he has so much speed, but can he get out?
Nope. Not even a kill. And, you know, we're talking about 3 items. Here it comes. Shadow Flame Leandri, Death Cap for the Karthus. Last Whisper is being completed, and, you know, Mejai's as well. And with what's coming next, I'm thinking that's the Horizon focus.
It could be the Horizon focus, but does it even matter at this point?
I don't know.
Panda
Probably not.
being able just to obliterate anyone he looks and sets his eyes on. Baron, remember, is on all 5 members on the side of Lions Creed. They could go for a 4-1, allow this Malphite to go on these side lanes, allow him to push this out, let the Baron minions do their work, as Lions Creed have such a great Baron pushing potential because of the double AD carry comp they have tried to build for themselves. That Rhythm, even if he is on these side lanes, he has to look for a fight, otherwise his full base is going to fall.
Yeah, and Fruity doesn't have the best gun right here. Calibrum isn't the best weapon in this circumstance. You need at least Gravitum, or like maybe here you get Severum for the healing, but not a lot of good guns and not a lot of good situations. The inhibitor is down, and Lions Creed do have enough damage to just take this fight if they want to, but respect will be given both to 42 Gaming and to the 30 seconds remaining until we have the Elder. Rhythm is gonna respect that as well. They will recall, and this is the final game. This is the final fight. If they don't win this, it's over for 42 Gaming.
Elder Dragon is going to be the name of the game for 42. If they're able to get this, there is an opportunity to try and get back into this game. Try and turn this around, especially when they've taken so many towers. If they get a full ace, there is a way to end it. Zuko.
That's an excellent hook. Well, bye-bye, Kurosh. Not long for this world, and honestly, maybe not Rhythm either. That's a good clear there by Thornton, but Rhythm is just melting through these 80 carries. Now both of them having their last whispers completed. Even LDR there for Spike. Spike is just melting people, kiting people. Thornton doesn't have the damage. Thornton will be called for death by the Requiem, and it will be an ace for Lions Creed as they will keep their spot and they will win, denying the tiebreaker.
They just need to finish it off, and 20 seconds on all timers. There is nothing that anyone on 42 Gaming can do. They will be picking up the loss here.
Yeah, I think this should be over. A loss. And ladies and gentlemen, the final game will be won by the British organization. Lions Creed will not complain about the results. 9 wins for them here. And 42 Gaming, unfortunately, nothing is enough to give them a victory here today.
And the main reason that Lions Creed are very happy about this is they don't have to fight to try and get 5th place with a tiebreaker with Blue Whites. Now they have 100% secured it, meaning that their playoff run is going to be a little bit easier. But remember, they are one of the lower teams against this, and some of the teams in this league have been so incredible this season. And one of them we have to talk about is Venom Crest getting a perfect season. So we're going to have to see what Lions Creed can do against them later on.
Oh, I mean, we're talking about later on. I'm gonna wonder if there will be an interview for this last game of the split. Just waiting on confirmation. It might be, but until then, we might actually talk about the games, talk about today and what happened. I don't think that we have any tie break. Like, first is locked for Venom Crest, of course. Second is Light Sides, and then 5th is also locked. 4th is locked. So I'm like wondering what happens for the rest of the teams. I think the only tiebreaker that really does matter is like 10th and 9th between Anima and Espagada.
Well, there's actually a little bit more than that, because 42 Gaming, because they lost here today, does mean against Espagod that they will fight for who will be getting 7th and who will be getting 8th in the regular split. Now, to do with getting themselves into playoffs, both teams are out 100%. However, these could be some very important points. Remember, the top or the bottom 2 are going to be getting eliminated from NLC Division 2 and will be going down to Division 3. So they need to make sure the more points you have with regular season, this could be very beneficial.
Okay. Okay, there you go. I'm back. Yeah, okay. I guys, I don't know what's happening. My camera's disappearing all around, much like, this game. Like, it's been a disappearing after 42 Gaming. Honestly, I expected a much better showing from them. But as we discussed, like, the team comp just didn't give them any room to play once they got behind.
It didn't give them any chance to come behind. There was actually 2 teams as well that I forgot to say do have a slight chance to get themselves from 3rd or 4th. Kate 5 and Monster Rugby Gaming are going to be having a tiebreaker later on, probably next week, where they will have to decide who is going to begin that 3rd or 4th place. And that's going to be very crucial, because the higher up you are, the easier your opponents will be, and the better chance you have to have an easier run getting yourselves in these playoffs.
Oh, speaking of decisions, looks like a decision has been made, and it will be Emil that will be coming here for the final interview for the Division 2 Summer for the NLC, coming right after this break. And here we are with today's victor. Emil, how are you doing, man?
Hello. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah, well, glad to see you here. And you know what? It was a pretty big performance out of you today. It definitely took a lot to beat such an like the comp of the other side there for 4-2 Gaming. Should have been winning early. You guys won. Both you and Spike were carrying that game early on, especially.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? We should ban Poppy. I don't think that character should be allowed anymore. But else, it was a nice game. People played good. We made some good calls and got ahead early, and then from there it was a little bit messy, but we'll work on it.
So there's actually a question I did want to ask you, because of course you know that your bot lane had a lead in the early game. You knew how strong they were. Now you in the mid lane, knowing against Syndra there's not really much you can do because she can just constantly push you out unless you have flash to try and get past that. Do you maybe sit back a little bit, try and defend up and allow your bot lane to carry, or do you want to push it harder to try and get that roam pressure to try and go bot side and help them?
I mean, when I play Tristana, I will jump on their face no matter where they are. So I will always try to kill my laner as many times as possible. Sometimes it does backfire, but so be it. But I know when my bot lane is super fed, I can play like a maniac because enemy bot lane will be sitting on the turret. And in this game, the Alistar was trying to move, and then we just killed their failures again and again. So that was nice.
Well, you know, speaking of killing things, like was that Tristana pick locked in for you from the moment you picked it, or did you have the idea that you know maybe you can flex that Tristana now that we don't have the Kaisa in, and then once you saw the first couple of picks from the other side, you were like, you know what, we can actually also pick the Ashe, and then the Tristana can go to me.
I mean, I like playing Tristana a lot. I think it's very OP in mid lane. I think it's very hard to beat it, even if you don't play it to its fullest extent. But I know from us scrimming that we for sure can flex it bot lane as well. So, which is why I think that makes it a lot better for a first pick. Because you can pick it, and then no matter what, you will have a good matchup in mid lane, most likely having push. And if the matchup is not super ideal in mid later on, you can always put a bot lane, and it does just fine there as well. So I think it's a really strong character at the moment.
Now, Emil, a great job on today's game, but we need to really think about the future, because you, to say with Lions Creed, have kind of had a rocky, well, season overall, because you had a great start, had a little bit of a rocky mid-game, but you seem to be going up and up and up. What's really changed recently, and how do you think you're going to do in the playoffs coming up?
I mean, every team I've always been on, the regular season has always been a bit of a struggle. But I know for sure in this split we started off having very rough start, as you mentioned. So we looked to make changes. We made some roster changes. We made some playstyle changes. I think we had to figure out the meta a lot more as well, and we're slowly getting into it now. Luckily, we also had a nice boot camp hosted by Lions Creed. # Fear the Pride. Which helped us a lot to get together as a group, know each other better as people. You know, it's always nice to put a face on whoever you're playing with. And that for sure helped us a lot in gaining some momentum. I think we played 5 games at the bootcamp and won all 5. So that for sure gave us some momentum going into playoffs. We had a rocky day today, lost the first game to Blue Whites. It was not on NLC stream, of course, but we came back and ended on a win going into playoffs. I think we're all people that are very strong at adapting. So I think in a best of 5 environment, it's going to be a lot easier for us to perform.
Well, like with that, I think I have just one final question. So, you know, we're speaking about playoffs. Where do you want to go? That's the big question. Do you actually realistically see Lions Creed beating Venom Crest and Lightside here?
It would be so cool if we met Venom Crest in finals and won. I think no matter what happens in playoffs, I think if someone could at least take a game off on them, that would be cool, because I don't like them going completely undefeated. It's a bit demotivating to a degree. So no matter who's fighting Venom Crest, I will be rooting for him. And if it does, I am very confident that we will be able to take some games of and hopefully also beat them in the 5-game series.
Well, Emil, we always here on NLC love to give people shout outs. Is there anyone you want to say thank you to for how you've got here, or just anyone in general?
Yeah, I would like to thank my team for pulling through a rough regular season. Now we head into playoffs, and I hope we're gonna smash it. I would also like to thank my girlfriend Kat for being cool, and my manager Robin for showing me clips of him smurfing in Prime League Division 7. It's very motivating for us to play, knowing that one day we will be as good as him.
Well, yeah, thank you so much, Emil. And again, congratulations on locking it down and good luck in playoffs. Well,
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hashtag fear the pride.
Yeah, okay, you know what, guys? You can fear whatever you want to fear, but you know what? Yeah, everything has been going on well here. Wow, it was a pretty spicy day. A lot of tiebreakers were settled, and it was a pretty intense day. The fact that it came down to the very last day for some of these teams to like make playoffs, make sure they don't start in the lower bracket, that's like pretty good.
And guess what? There's only a couple weeks until we finally do get ourselves off into playoffs. So it's going to be a great time. As well, I want to say stay tuned on all social medias so you can find out when the tie breaks are, because even us behind the scenes are not too sure yet. So we'll be making sure to keep up to date. We also need to say a massive shout out to everybody at NLC. Of course, Saprix, Rusty Sniper, Man Bowen, and Brackets Brit behind the scenes, and every single person who has made NLC possible. Because for people like me and Voxel, it's a dream come true to cast for this, because I've only been cast a couple years. To have a chance to be here has always been great.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're talking about Saprix. We met a couple years ago, and to see ourselves, here, like I'm pretty happy about it. I'm pretty happy to be alongside such an excellent crew, and honestly, such an excellent league. Like each and every one of these teams, the 10 teams that were here, that were present, gave us an excellent summer split. And what else could you ask for? Banger games, down to the wire, tiebreakers, excellent casts. So, I've been pretty happy about the outcome of the season as a whole. And I hope that everybody watching actually had the same amount of joy and excitement out of these games as we did.
Well, guess what? I think this might have to be it from us, Book. So I want to say a massive thank you for everybody to watch. And remember, all social medias, make sure to keep up to date because playoffs are only a couple weeks away. If you're sometimes bored, remember there are tiebreakers in between that to try and keep up your League of Legends craving. As well, everybody behind the scenes, all social medias will be linked as well if you ever want to come watch any of us. But I want to say a massive thanks from NLC overall. Thank you to Voxel for being an incredible caster. And have a great day, everyone.